Hello there, great to have you with us. Hope you're well. The opportunity is in front of us today to top the table by trouncing the Tigers, and it's all happening live right here on Fauna Written All Over It. Well, what a pleasure this is. A very warm welcome along to Sam, who joins us live from his front room. How are you, mate? Great to have you with us.
Hello, Sam.
Thanks, mate. Good to be on, boys. Looking forward to this. Is a big one, isn't it?
It is a big one. It is a big one. We will get to that very shortly. Before we speak to Sam and Andrew as well, we are going to go through some of your comments. We're also going to have a look at the Pompey lineup this afternoon, starting with Craig McGilvery in goal. It's a back four of Callum Johnson, Jack Watmore, Sean Raggett and Lee Brown, Tom Naylor, Andy Cannon, Marcus Harness, Ryan Williams, Ronan Curtis and Johnny Marquis. There is also a new signing to tell you about. We will get to that in just a moment. But before we do, the whole City lineup looks a little bit like this. In goal, number 1, George Long. It's a back four of Callum Elder, Jacob Greaves, Alfie Jones and Louis Coyle. Midfield of Richard Smallwood, George Honeyman, Greg Doherty, and a front three, a potent front three of Malik Wilkes, Keane Lewis Potter and Gavin White. Sam, your initial reaction to that teammate? Colour unchanged. We're pretty much unchanged apart from Ronan Curtis coming back in for Jacobs. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see why he's brought him back in. I guess he trusts Curtis to kind of get back and be more solid defensively because he knows he can do that. He's had him for a long time doing that role, so I can see why he changed that. Obviously, Jacobs come back from injury. He looked good before that injury, especially in that Sunderland game. Before he looked really good. But yeah, he's taken a bit of time to get back in. Was a bit quiet against AFC Wimbledon, so you can see why they've made that change because he just trusts Curtis more. And you know, he could prove like you need that moment of magic in games like this, and he could give that to us. For them, I'm a bit surprised that Josh Emmanuel isn't playing. Thought he was very, very good when we played them. I think they're playing that Louis Coyle at right back instead. So, I mean, if it's worked for them the last 4 games, they're going to stick with it. But I'm just a bit surprised he isn't playing because I thought he was a very good player.
Andrew, how are you feeling ahead of today?
Yeah, Tom, I'm quite excited. Sam made all the relevant points that I think I was going to make because he tends to steal my thunder a bit like that, doesn't he? Yeah, no, it's proper intelligent stuff, mate. He's a mole, isn't he? Sam's a mole. He's inside the camp, and he knows
what he's talking about.
He's a professional, isn't he? I'm just a good morning, Andrew. I just sit in the background driving and stuff like that. So my comments don't really matter, Tom. I think exactly as Sam was saying. I do actually fancy today, though. I fancy it's another 4-0.
Excellent. Would you mind taking your fingers off? Because you look like you're giving me bunny ears. Oh. Just hold on to the back of the chair. That's absolutely fine. Let's welcome some of you onto the stream. Hello to Ollie Clark, who joins us going for a 2-1 win. Good afternoon to Sully. Andrew, what's your score prediction?
I just said it, didn't I?
You just said it 4-0. Hello to Neil. Welcome along to Adam. Owen's in, as is Neil. And hello to Brian from Rio in the Sun. Brian, we are all incredibly jealous of you, mate. Sam, I'll ask you very quickly, mate. Pompey could break their post-war record for minutes without scoring a goal today. I believe if we get to the 71st minute without Craig McGilvery letting one in, that'll be that record beaten. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's quite impressive. Obviously, 6 games without conceding now. You know, that's what good runs are built off. I just hope they don't kind of try and keep focus on that more than getting the victory today, because you could almost see against AFC Wimbledon they were more tempted, especially in the second half, just to sit back and make sure he didn't concede that elusive goal that no one can seem to score against at the moment. But yeah, it's amazing coming from the start of the season when everyone was kind of questioning the defence, how they've gelled and come along so well. And
Raggett didn't score a goal for ages either as well.
Yeah. But Raggett's been one of the players of the season. And, you know, we've slated him at times, especially last season. But yeah, what a player he's turned into. He just gets in the way. He's so solid and puts everything on the line at the moment. That's all you need at League One and in that kind of at this level. So, but yeah, I mean, just hopefully we don't try and sit back and try and keep that 0-0 lead or keep that record intact. In this game, you want to try and get the win. If they score, they score. They're a good team. They've got good players going forward. You know, we're not going to keep this record forever, so it shouldn't be that important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good afternoon to Griff Mum, who's watching us on the iPad, and Griffin on the phone. That is lovely, and thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon to Sean Meads, the legend, who's going for a 3-1 win. Hello to Daniel, who's got a homemade pizza in the oven, watching Fournilwrittenalloverit written all over it on the big TV. What an afternoon you're having, Daniel. Very warm welcome along, mate. Jake saying he's going to go for a 3-1 win. How's the weather in Perth? Wow, people joining us from Perth. We're going to get on to the signing of Charlie Daniels in just a moment. The boys of the bat will be fuming if they let one slide in. Rest assured they'll be trying their hardest. Absolutely. A very happy birthday to big Pompey fan Joe Kirkby. Good afternoon to Joe if he's joining us, and a very happy birthday. Boys and girls, get your score predictions in the comments section down below. Andrew, there's a sense of deja vu today. A similar situation greeted us 5 weeks ago, just before Christmas. We were a couple of points behind Hull and had the opportunity to overtake them. Has much changed for you since then in terms of League One? Or
I think we're a little bit more settled now than we were then, Tom. We've had a couple, as Sam said, 5 clean sheets since that time, haven't we? So I think we can beat this team. I think we can beat any team in this league, frankly, if we play the formation we're playing, the players we're playing. Sam made the point about Raggett being solid at the back and doing the thing. He's still, for me, not finished article. I don't. He's not a Jack Watmore, is he? He's not a cool character. He's just, as Sam said, he's bullish and gets in the way. He's pretty good going forward, actually, for set pieces and corners as well, because he's coming good.
Four goals this season.
That's what we're saying. So he's pretty good in up there, isn't he? You got, for a centre half to score 4 goals is pretty good, isn't it? In any league.
First half of the season as well, 4 goals. That's very good.
Yeah. That's right. So I found, as I said, Tom, I agree with Sam. I think he's Alan and I were giving him so much stick last season from the terraces that you wouldn't believe it. But he is still, for me, a little bit suspect on lots of occasions. His little pass backs when he just rolls the ball back and the striker can get there just before McGilvery on occasions. The nerves the guy gives me. If that's Jack Watmore, I'm not scared. Yeah, I am if it's Raggett. So I agree with Sam and actually have another view on it as well.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that. Aaron, good afternoon to you. He'd love a 4-0, but he sees Pompey winning 3-2.
Oh, my goodness, mate. That's a serious
hello to
call.
Sean. He said, good afternoon, Andrew. There we go.
Hello, Sean.
To be fair, mate. That shirt doesn't quite work because it says good morning. It's the afternoon, isn't it? So we probably need to get one that says good afternoon, Andrew. Yeah. Ollie's going for a 2-0 Pompey win. Good afternoon to Douglas. Welcome along to the stream. Lee is in on Facebook as well. And another 2-0 without a shot on target, says Anthony. There's another one for you, Sam. We didn't actually target Hull's goal, did we, in December? You reckon we could maybe get a shot on target today, perhaps?
Oh, I've seen a lot about that, about how, especially from Hull fans on Twitter, etc., saying that, their manager came out and said that he thought that they were in the ascendancy, he should have won the game. But I didn't actually feel Pompey got out of third gear, to be honest. We didn't really get out of second, we didn't really get going, and we still won the game 2-0. And I felt it was comfortable. I didn't feel like at any point that they were going to lay siege to our goal, or there was going to be endless amounts of crosses coming in. It just didn't materialise, and I think that's a good sign because we didn't really do anything and still won the game 2-0. Especially they did like to cross the ball in. I don't know if it's because just the personnel they had on the day, but they did like to try and get crosses in. But if that's the case, you've got Watmore and Raggett are just going to head them away pretty much every single time. So if they're going to do that again today, it could bode well for us. But yeah, for me, it didn't really feel like we were under any sort of pressure in that game. So it'd be interesting to see what they bring today with their new signings. Obviously, they've brought in Dan Cowley from Birmingham. They've got Gavin White, used to play for Oxford, was a good player. And then they've obviously got this Keane Lewis Potter who signed the new deal, and that was causing a bit of issues with them as well.
Didn't play in the December game, did he?
No, he didn't. But he came on off the bench and he looked quite good. So he start from the outset today. So, but again, I'm not too sure what sort of formation they're playing, because I don't know if they've got a proper number 9. I don't know if they've got McGuinness or Eve starting. But if they haven't really got a proper a striker up front who's going to actually give the 2 centre halves a physical battle. I haven't actually checked their lineup. If you've got fit their lineup again, Tom, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, sure. It looks like a 4-3-3, Sam, with Lewis Potter leading the line with Gavin White and Malik Wilkes. There isn't
so for me, there's no real physical presence up front, because you've got Tom Eves, you've got Josh McGuinness as well. They're 2 physical strikers who actually there isn't that. And if they're going to play long balls up, Watmore and Raggett are going to get it every time. So they're going to have to play the ball on the floor.
Yeah, no, thanks for that, mate. That's great. Sam, I'll very quickly, mate, just going to swap us over. It's for very good reason. I'm just going to whack the league table up on the screen. Can you talk us through who you think will be challenging for promotion with that on there right now? I'm going to very quickly get rid of some of the things that are covering it up. But who do you see as an automatic promotion candidate looking at that right now?
This is, for me, Tom, I think you've got to look at, it's a hard one because there's literally, you've got up until probably Sunderland, even Accrington as well, who are in and amongst it. For me, from what I've watched this season so far and from other results, Hull are going to be up there. I think they'll be up there. When we played Lincoln, I actually wasn't that impressed by them, and we turned them over in the end. So I'm amazed they're still up there, but fair play to them. We've got Michael Appleton in charge, like Michael Appleton. Give him a shout out there. But yeah, I'd probably say us, Doncaster, Peterborough and Hull. Those four I'd fancy, because Peterborough have got that firepower that sometimes teams just can't contend with it. We saw what they did to us last year in that away game. I know they had Ivan Toney as well, but they just took the mick. They just took the mick out of us, and they were way too good for us. I think Sunderland too inconsistent. They're dropping too many silly points. Ipswich aren't very good. And to be like the teams 7, 8, 9, 10th, I can't really see them getting involved in the automatic picture. They'd be more for playoffs. But yeah, I'd probably say Peterborough, Doncaster, us and Hull. I fancy to push those top 2 spots.
Thanks, mate. Andrew, a quick look on the other games kicking off at 3 o'clock in the league today. You've got, all Pompey fans will be watching this, hoping that Northampton get a couple of points out of the Lincoln City game. I'm not sure if anyone could see that happening. Obviously, our game at Fratton Park, Oxford, Bristol Rovers. And then important one from a Pompey point of view is Ipswich against Peterborough, 2 teams that are in and around those playoff points, looking to put some pressure on the top teams. Anything that shouts out to you there when you look at that?
No, I'd like to see Ipswich 0-0 with Peterborough, mate, so there's no goals advantage in any favour. And I'd like to see Charlton Swindon 0-0. Other than that, I ain't too bothered about the others. I'm not worried about Lincoln. I don't think they'll be there. We played them at their place, didn't we? Beat them 4-1, I think, from memory.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't that good. And I don't know what they're doing up there, frankly. But I'm not being disrespectful to Lincoln, but they aren't good enough to be top of the table, frankly, I don't think. So... I think Northampton might get something out of Lincoln, because it's about time Lincoln had a bit of a bad run again.
Right. Sam, your thoughts on that?
Again, this is why I didn't mention Lincoln. I do think they're going to drop off, and I'm only going this because of when I watched Pompey play there. I just didn't think they were very good, and I couldn't work out how they managed to keep this up. But they're up there for a reason. I just don't think they're going to continue to stay up there. So yeah, I could see Northampton getting something there. Bryn Morris inspired Northampton. And then you've got, I would like to see Ipswich beat Peterborough, actually, because I don't think Ipswich are going to be up there at the end of the season. And I think Peterborough might be. So Peterborough dropping points. I'd like to see Peterborough drop points, because I just think they're a good team. Charlton been on a tricky run at the moment. So I couldn't, I could see a draw there. I really could see a draw against them with Swindon. And then, yeah, the other games I couldn't really, there aren't really anything that screams out to me. I mean, Shrewsbury away at Sunderland, maybe they could just get something just to keep Sunderland struggling. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I really see.
Sean Meads has commented saying Blackpool are due a run of wins. Sam, what do you make of that?
Obviously, they played. That was our last loss, wasn't it? Blackpool away, and they looked like it was quite a boring game, not much in it, and just that single goal. But yeah, they've got some good players, made some good signings in the window, in the summer especially. So yeah, they are. I think they're a team that's maybe more catered to do well next season, if they can keep all those players together. But they could go and get a good little run or something like that.
Yeah, did they not just beat West Brom in the FA Cup recently as well? So they can't be that many mugged. They're not that mugged. They're not that mugged off, are they?
We still got to play them at home as well. So yeah, that'll be a tricky game.
Absolutely. Andrew, I want to come to you on the form tables, mate, if I may, with regards to, obviously you can look at Pompey's results. They're the bottom 2, Peterborough and Bristol City. We can almost discount because they're domestic trophies, but last 2 games for Pompey, we were watching both of them, or we streamed both of them here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Hull's form is probably more interesting to look at. 2 draws and a win in the league most recently. Is form anything to go on right now, or if he's still waiting for a little bit more of the season to play out before he can make a comment on it?
No, I think, Tom, we're getting close towards this last part of the season, aren't we now? So I think, mate, I think the form, we had a bad start, didn't we, earlier in the season? We were getting a bit nervous about what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then the formation changed, and some of the players came in that were screaming to come in, and he's playing we said before, the players that we wanted him to play. So I think Hull had a bit of a tricky time after we beat them, I think. I don't think it's a real run of form for any team, really. We're having the best run we've had for a while, aren't we? But we could easily all go wrong today, couldn't it? That's the issue of League One. You can't really be 100% sure, can you? I don't think. But I think today, I think Hull are going to be a good outfit. We tend to play better football against better teams as well. So that's often the way, isn't it? So we'll be up for this one for sure. And I think Hull will be up for it as well, because they want to look to revenge it, and it's a big game for them as it is for us. So it's anybody's game, really. I think this one today, apart from the 4 goals that we're going to score. Absolutely,
Sam. Couple of minutes to go before kickoff, mate. I wanted to wait until the majority of the people that will be joining us are in here until we discuss this. But Charlie Daniels has moved from Shrewsbury Town, obviously long term at Bournemouth. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it's a very astute signing. I think it's a 6-month deal, isn't it, up until summer. So it makes sense. I was on the PO forecast. I'm just going to plug it here. If anyone's listened to it, it's on Twitter, Spotify, whatnot. And we did a transfer show, and we were saying about obviously the left back and the centre mid. And the general consensus was either it's a young left back from a Premier League club or a kind of an old pro like Charlie Daniels. So yeah, it's a good signing. And yeah, he's had a good little spell at Shrewsbury as well. So yeah, I think he was always going to look for a move or a better move than that. And yeah, it makes sense for him. Ex-Bournemouth, lives on the South Coast. So yeah, it's good competition in that left back space.
And we haven't yet discussed Harvey White with you either, mate. What did you make of that one from Tottenham last week? I think, earlier this week actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, again, I think that signing was always going to be in today's market, with all the kind of the financial implications of not having fans, etc., and how the market will be. I think getting loans from Premier League clubs was a smart financial move. I don't think you're going to go out and spend a couple of million on a centre mid who's going to come in and impact it, because I just don't think it's financially worth it. You know, Cannon and Naylor are doing a good job. Who's actually going to come in and take their spot? So yeah, for me, good bit of business, and he's highly regarded at Spurs as well. So.
Excellent. And there you go, mate. Daniel is a fan of the PO forecast. So there we go. Fans of the PO forecast are in. Good afternoon to Mikai Lecco. Sorry. Andrew is blending in with the wall nicely, says Sean Meads.
It's all in the plan, mate. Sean, it's all in the big plan, mate.
Charles is going for all 3 points today. Andrew, your final word before we get going with the game. Do you think we will get all 3 points today against a good Hull City side?
I think we will, Tom. I thought we looked pretty good against Wimbledon, especially second half, when they ran out of steam a little bit and they ran out of ideas. And they haven't got a best team, have they, Wimbledon? But I think Ronan Curtis, what I think we lacked on Tuesday night against Wimbledon was that width, that left-hand side width. We didn't have too much of that going on, even with Jacobs up there. He didn't, as Sam alluded to earlier, he didn't get forward enough, and he certainly didn't get back enough quickly for me. Whereas Curtis, he wants to keep that number 11 shirt, doesn't he? So he's gonna try and impress again today, especially against a good side like Hull.
Absolutely. There's 104 of you that join us across YouTube and Facebook. If you haven't yet liked the stream, boys and girls, or if this is the first time that you're watching a Fournilwritten all over it live stream, then please make sure you subscribe down below. We're about to bring you 90 minutes of football from Fratton Park, live right here with myself, Andrew and Sam, and a very good afternoon to all. Chris is in from Barbados. Amy is back as well. Could it be another 4-0? Let's hope so. That was big during the week as well. Sam, are you looking at the Hull City lineup by any chance right now, or is it just gone on?
No, I was looking at my dad's bet he's just put on.
What's he going for?
He's got £4 on Raggett again.
Brilliant.
And what's that one? Watmore and Raggett, £4 on each.
Excellent. There we go. Well, let's hope he's right. Is it kicked off for you yet, mate, or are you still waiting?
At the moment, I've got the team are in a huddle on my screen.
Right. Okay. We'll work it out in a minute. I'm sure I can. Oh, watching the Pompey team in a huddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're just in front of us.
You're literally like 3 seconds behind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. We'll I had a little refresh a minute ago, but that's okay. You've got 3 seconds to process things, Sam, while I talk, and then you jump in with a comment, and we will come to Andrew for some in-game analysis as this one proceeds. The teams are taking the knee extending the message across League One that there is no room for racism in football. And we're almost ready to get off and underway. Ben Toner blows his whistle and we begin. Are you ready? Here we go.
Ready, yeah.
We're off and underway. As it's an early little flurry of a chance there, and Craig McGilvery will gather and run out to his box. As the goals go in across League One this afternoon as well, we'll keep you updated with anything. There's a couple of FA Cup games, I believe we can keep you across as well. So there we go. That Craig McGilvery goal kick has come from nothing, and that is all the way back with the Hull City keeper, George Long. And I think for anyone joining us, Andrew, we will just enforce the importance of today's result as well.
Yeah, I think both, Tom, that tells you everything. Both goalkeepers have touched the ball in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah. Nervousness, perhaps?
I think it's just loose balls. They both just whack the balls up just to stretch the legs a bit, I think, Tom, and try and get, not to score, perhaps just try to get a little bit of movement, maybe. I don't know.
Absolutely. Good afternoon to Chris in Bergamo in Italy, checking in. Chris and Joe, a very warm welcome along. 3-0 from Estepona in Spain. Good afternoon to Nick. Welcome along to the stream. And welcome along to everyone else who joins us live on Fournilwrittenalloverit too, as Marcus Harness will chuck the ball to Callum Johnson, who will take one of the first throw-ins. He will take, I'm sure there will be many of them down this near-touch line for him this afternoon. Finds Ronan Curtis, who's recently come back into the starting lineup. And Wilkes batters it away in the direction of Sean Raggett. First time header down towards John Marquis. He can't get control of it, and it'll be Jack Watmore's to deal with, and he does so well. Gets the ball to the Pompey captain, Tom Naylor. This is Marcus Harness to Johnson. Under pressure goes down the right-hand side to John Marquis. The ball has been taken away from him by Jacob Greaves, who, Sam, scored the one of the own goals on the return fixture early on in the season, Jacob Greaves.
Yeah, I mean, it was... I wasn't quite sure if Raggett had got it or he got it. It was one of them. I wasn't too sure. But yeah, it was a very peculiar own goal.
Joe Pigott has taken the lead at the game at Crewe Alexandra. It is Crewe 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. And that is the first goal in League One of the afternoon, coming inside 2 minutes. And Ronan Curtis has just been fouled by the Hull City number 10, George Honeyman. That'll be Pompey's first free kick of the afternoon. 2 minutes
Tom,
gone. Sorry,
Tom, I've just paused my stream, so I'm going to match it up with yours. So what time are you on?
2:29, 30, 31. Here we go.
You're on 2:31.
2:36 now, 37, 38, 39.
Oh, yeah.
Callum Johnson takes it over halfway.
Yeah, gone for throwing. Yeah.
Perfect.
Or
there
foul. Yeah.
There we go.
Put that back on sharp.
Lovely stuff. We are now synced, which is lovely. And that was a foul on Callum Johnson. And what do you make of that?
I'm not sure it was a foul, really, more of a nudge, wasn't it? He fell over, so she fell over.
And Jack Watmore was readying himself to take this one. It's just inside Hull City territory for Pompey. It'll be a long ball towards the edge of the box as Pompey line up on the edge of the D. Here comes the in-swinger. Raggett's been pushed to the ground there, actually. I'm not quite sure how the referee hasn't seen that one. Interesting, useless bit of information. The referee's name is Ben Donor. Ben, what's his name, Sam? Ben Toner. His name's Bent Owner. So Ben Toner, Toner, and he was not allowed to referee the Blackpool game a couple of years ago that Pompey played them because of the situation they had with Oyston out and how Bent Owner sounds a bit like the owner's bent. So that was one of the reasons why they changed his referee appointment that particular weekend. As Andy Cannon is trotting away from the ball in a sunny north stand.
I was going to say that sun's probably going to cause a bit of problems on that side. Yeah. Can't see anything.
We know what it's like, a low sun at Fratton Park on a Saturday afternoon, don't we? That's been a problem for
you've always been a low sun. We were until you got taller.
Well, yeah, exactly. Still am a pretty low sun. Interestingly, Swindon Town have taken the lead at the Valley against Charlton Athletic. It is Charlton 0, Swindon Town 1. We'll let you know who scored that one in just a moment.
Charlton really struggling at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. They're a few games ahead of everyone else around them, aren't they, Sam? And things aren't just going their way, are they?
Well, we kind of hope they don't go their way because they'll be challenges, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Raggett chips the ball forward, but it's bounced out of play, and it'll be a Hull City throw inside their own half.
I like this camera angle from this angle, Tom. Pretty good.
I think it's pretty similar to every other camera angle at Fratton Park.
This one is not on the top of the North Stand, is it? I don't
Yeah,
think
this camera angle's different. We were saying we said at the AFC Wimbledon game it was like watching down on the players, whereas this one's a bit more. It's not on top of the stand.
Good afternoon to Mexico City. Ricardo's going for a 2-0 Pompey. They spend a few minutes in Mexico. This game is not seen. Well, welcome along, Ricardo. Hope you're well, and hopefully we can bring you the game. Malik Wilkes is complaining of an arm in his face, and the referee's blown up for a free kick. I think it was Tom Naylor. Actually, it wasn't really an arm in the face, was there? But
nothing there. If anything, he's definitely fouled Naylor.
And we've got the free kick as well. So
there we go.
Cagey start.
Yeah, it's not really that exciting, is it?
No, you can sense that both teams trying to feel each other out. Don't want to give anything soft away early on, where just trying to get a base in the game. I would say we probably enjoyed more time on the ball, which has been nice to see. But yeah, just edging their way into it.
Andy Cannon takes a throw in for Pompey. Thank you for that, Sam. 6 minutes in now. It's 0-0 here at Fratton Park. Hope you're well and a very warm welcome along to the stream as Jack Watmore plays the ball towards Marcus Harness. A little bit too much on it for him. It struggled to control it, but it's still with Pompey. Sean Raggett and balls out. It's quite a way away, isn't it? It's hard to make out who's actually kicking the ball around.
It's interesting the way Hull have lined up. They actually have. If you look at this, it's more like George Honeyman and Keane Lewis Potter are playing right up, almost as in like a 4-4-2. Kind of sense, them two, but basically playing up front together. Maybe Honeyman slightly deeper.
Is that to match Pompey, Sam?
No, well, it's not really, because Watmore and Raggett aren't going to have really that much to deal with in the air if you've got those two up front, because they're just not going to. Oh, hang on, you nick the ball back. No, they're not going to have much to deal with if those two are up there, because there's no real aerial presence. But yeah, they might have some issues in behind potentially.
Raggett's back there doing some defending from Pompey, as Sam just said. A little bit of a half chance for Ryan Williams. He couldn't quite nick the ball back off them. And here's Lee Brown now. And Kenny Jackett has got some more appropriate trousers on this afternoon. He's wrapped up warm, which is good. And there's the ball over halfway for John Marquis to chase. He won't get there, and that will be comfortable. I say comfortable. There's a little bit too much on it for the keeper, George Long, to deal with, but he'll deal with it nonetheless. Marcus Harness puts on a little bit of pressure from a distance, and that ball's only as far as halfway with Tom Naylor. As you say, that sun is almost blinding for Ronan Curtis.
Naylor's been brilliant there.
Going completely the wrong way.
Brilliant, wasn't he then? Look at that from Naylor.
That's Ronan Curtis over there, mate.
Oh, I couldn't see that.
He's done really well there. 3 Hull players on it there.
Yeah. Cool. That was Curtis back there, was it?
That was Curtis just then, yeah. Tom Naylor was in the middle. It was Naylor, and then it was Curtis running back towards his own goal. Had a lot to deal with. A couple of players to just muscle off, and he did really well. Here come Hull City now. Keane Lewis Potter inside Pompey territory. Referee blows up for a foul, and that will be a foul. That was Tom Naylor. And Sam, I think that's probably the foul, isn't it? A foul to give.
Yeah, I think there's a bit annoying, because I feel like Naylor actually got his foot. He actually got in the right position to make a good tackle, and he just completely missed the ball. It's just a bit irritating, because he could have actually got I think he stuck it through his legs maybe, but he looked like he could have got there.
This was the referee who joined us for the Exeter City game in the EFL Trophy that year. Well, it's about a year ago now, isn't it? But you remember that night? That was a night and a half, wasn't it? Richard Smallwood is standing over this set piece. Craig McGilvery commanding his box. There is also the Hull City left back, Callum Elder. Referee blows his whistle. We are ready to go. What is that noise? Some noise outside. It's Callum Elder.
Poor ball in that.
It wasn't the best of balls. And Ryan Williams nearly away there.
Very unlucky.
Here's George Honeyman with a chance to go again in an attacking sense for Hull City. Here's Keane Lewis Potter.
He's good. He's a good player, isn't he?
He's a good player. Elder battling with Johnson, puts a ball across, and Tom Naylor sticks a foot out. And that one's away, and Dave Mattin wants to get in contact with Andrew. Sam, I think you described it brilliantly to say that the opening 10 minutes have been cagey. It's been quiet. Anything that needs to change right now for you?
Not really. I wouldn't want us to kind of go gung-ho in the first 10 minutes and try and leave ourselves exposed to the back. I think it's always going to be a game, especially a top of the table clash, where you're going to try and build your way into the game. Interested from that free kick. Hull, noticeable Hull's kind of don't really have a lot of height, especially in attacking areas. So they've obviously got their two centre halves that are quite tall, but I can't really see any really aerial threats. So hopefully that bodes well if they're going to try. Well, from set pieces anyway, you think Pompey should do well. Probably just jinxed it now, but
yeah. No, I'm hope the same thing, mate. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Only time will tell us. 127 of you across YouTube and Facebook, boys and girls. If you haven't yet liked the stream, you're just joining us. We're live all afternoon for you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And as Sam quite rightly says, it's been a quiet opening 10 minutes. But we are live for you every single game right here on Fournilwrittenalloverit as John Marquis chases the whole defence down. And there's cross ball across the pitch. He's looking to find Malik Wilkes. But Callum Johnson does enough to deal with that one, and that will be out. Harness completing the clearance there, and here's Callum Elder down the left-hand side.
It's nice to see we're trying to put them under pressure, which is something we're not just letting them. They're going to try and dictate the play, but it's nice to see when they get near our half, we are trying to put them under some sort of pressure. Especially Williams already. He's kind of looks energetic.
I think McGilvery's touched the ball yet, Andrew.
He did in the first minute, didn't he? The first 30 seconds.
Apart from that, since I don't think he has he?
I don't look like it. It's there's not a lot going on, if I may say, guys. Not to get excited about, is it? Really? Yeah.
No, the game's probably been played just in between both boxes. There hasn't been really any sort of attacking intent going into the box or any
cohesion. Yeah, no cohesion between either side, Sam. I don't think anyone's got a attacking sort of plan, have they? It doesn't look like to me. It's sort of Harness hasn't been on the ball as he has just then. Obviously, Naylor and Harness. This could be something.
Why has the ref not played the advantage there?
Yeah, it's just to describe to you what happened. It was a ball in that Sean Raggett dealt with initially, and Marcus Harness, and ref blew up for a handball, and he could have waited there. You would have thought if we'd been in the Prem, then we would still be playing, wouldn't we? But nonetheless, it is Craig McGilvery who will take the foul, take the free kick as a result of the foul, and it's up towards John Marquis. And here is, as Andrew's just mentioned, he's not well on the ball, but there he is now, Marcus Harness. Callum Johnson fires the ball at Ryan Williams. He does really well to control it.
Superb football, actually.
Williams has done really well there.
Is Lee Brown overlapping Ronan Curtis. Ball goes into the box early doors, and it's the keeper who's done well to claim that one. A lot of bodies around him. First proper chance for Pompey there, Sam.
Yeah, no, it was a nice bit of play. Excellent touch by Ryan Williams because he had that ball properly lumped at him by, I think it was Naylor. So, yeah, he's done well there. And then obviously Brown's whipped across in, a bit too floaty, and the keeper's just got it. But, yeah, some good intent there.
Here comes Doherty now for Hull City at the other end.
Close him down a bit quicker than that.
Towards the Fratton end. And Sean Raggett has headed that one away. And it's as far as the Pompey captain, Tom Naylor, who ran with it. The ball at his feet, which is nice to see.
That's the wrong ball to play there.
Yeah, it was a counter-attack on there. I think that was a good example of that cross coming in from for Hull. They literally just had Keane Lewis Potter and Honeyman in there. There was no one is going to win a header against our two centre halves. So it's an interesting. I'm not too sure what they're trying to do because obviously they made a lot of crosses against us last time, and they're trying to do a similar ploy this time with no real target man.
Here come Hull City once again, and as you say, Andrew, there's an awful lot of space for them. Gavin White into the penalty area, goes down, and referee says goal kick. That was lucky.
It's one of them though. Well, why hasn't he booked him? Because he's gone over like Tom Daly, but there's no cards. So I don't understand that.
I'd say that's a penalty, Sam.
You know what? I've just seen that again.
That's a penalty.
No,
that's Stonewall penalty.
He's got the ball.
He's got
the ball.
Andrew, that's a penalty. I'm surprised he hasn't given that.
It's not a penalty, is it?
I think Tom, on first view, I thought he's dived, which is probably why the ref hasn't given it. But second viewing, I think that's a pen.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's looking for it, but I think there's contact.
He's looking for it, but there isn't enough on the ball from Callum Johnson. He's got more of the player than he has the ball, and for me, that's a penalty. But
I don't know.
You're deluded.
Maybe it's the angle. Maybe it's the angle. Maybe I didn't see Tim touch the ball, but I just thought that's a pen on first glance. I think he's looking for it though, which is why.
Oh, there we go. Marquis could be in here, and he is. And that's the referees.
Oh, he's going to foul. Oh, my dad went early.
Ronan Marquis? Crikey. That's an interesting combination, but John Marquis,
why is he blown up?
He's all over Jacob Greaves there.
He's not, is he? Come on, look, he's just the guy's just trying to get in his way. It's obstruction of anything else. That's obstruction, not a foul.
Sam, let's come to you, mate, instead of Andrew.
Unbelievable. You two boys want to get your blue glasses on.
I don't think that's a foul. I don't think that's a foul. I can't, there's nothing in that. Look at the size of 24. Look at the size of him.
Yeah.
He's got to be stronger. And he was the one who scored the own goal. He wasn't strong enough in it. He's got to be stronger there. He's just been muscled over. And that the refs just fired into that and given him a free kick. But
let us know if you're the referee on the pitch, are you giving that as a foul, or is that back of the net? There's 1-0 Pompey 15 minutes in. Let us know.
I think we're starting to get control of it now. We're starting playing football.
Definitely. I will say in that midfield area, this is where the game's going to be won, I think. Those right. I'll just pause there because it's
not bad football. Andy Cannon takes a moment to compose himself, and that will be a foul from the referee. No, we'll take that. It's a 25 yards out. It's a set piece for Pompey. Sean Meads is quite rightly said, trying to force the play a bit too quickly, be patient, and the goal will come. Adam said Marquis is too powerful and aggressive for them. I think that agrees with what you were saying there, Sam.
Yeah, I think their centre halves, I just don't think this is where I'd say their weaknesses are, is in that centre of defence, because from the last game we played them, I just thought they were very soft, didn't really kind of step up to the physical test, and that's where we could get them in this game. Absolutely.
There's 150 that join us across YouTube and Facebook. A very warm welcome to Fournilwrittenalloverit. We're live for you throughout the afternoon, and hopefully Pompey will be adding another 3 points to their lead total. And Sunderland have taken the lead at the Stadium of Light against Shrewsbury Town. It is Sunderland 1, Shrewsbury Town 0, as the referee organises for the free kick to be delivered.
Put your money on that ending 1-1. All their games end 1-1. Sunderland have had like 18 1-1 draws since they came down from.
They have had a lot of draws, haven't they? Interesting comment from Sean Hamilton, who said only a pen in the Premiership. That one. I would probably agree with that one, as Harness hits it and it's over the crossbar. I
think that's one of those free kicks in that area where it's almost a bit too. It's too central. You can't really. It's pretty much dead in the middle. He couldn't really get an angle on it, and it's quite a long way out as well to have a shot.
Yeah, to me, that's not a shot from there, is it? That's got to be a wide ball out, and then someone whip it back in. It's not a
something creative, yeah.
A creative corner to the bar line or something. You know, I think just in the middle of, as Sam said, in the middle of the pitch, you don't shoot from there, do you? Unless you're Ronaldo.
I will say one thing: Hull are letting. Considering the way AFC Wimbledon started the weekend, Hull are giving Pompey a lot more space.
I was just thinking that we've got a lot of space.
I just cut across you. Callum Johnson's got a chance there, but it'll be too much.
For example, you can see the space we had. And compared to AFC Wimbledon on Tuesday, they came in and gave you no space whatsoever. So Hull they are trying to play out and be expansive, but there's definitely gaps there. There's space, especially in that midfield area. They're playing a free, but it almost seems like we're the ones dominating in there at the moment.
Yeah. And Callum Johnson's having an extremely good game so far, I think. You may mention that.
You impressed with his performance so far?
He's looking good, yeah. Big, strong lad, isn't he? I didn't realise how big he is. He's a tall guy.
Excellent. Header from Nader in the centre circle, and it's Hull City have won it back again here. And
Johnson pushes his boot through it and gets injured.
And I think he's
kicked the bottom of the guy's boot.
He's been caught there, actually, Callum Johnson.
Well, he hasn't. He kicked the bottom of the guy's boot.
I think Hull are struggling to get going here. They haven't really got anything fluid going or anything cohesive going, really. They're a little bit relying on kind of individual runs going forward. No real. I like to say that Pompey try and build their attacks, and the first goal we scored on Tuesday was a goal we built up, a lot of passes.
Haven't seen that from Hull, wasn't it? That first one.
Yeah, it was superb. But we haven't seen that from Hull yet, and that's what I was expecting.
It's a similar position. Jack Watmore's taken another free kick for us. He had one a moment ago.
How's that not a foul? How is that not a foul?
The referee's poor, isn't he? Let's face it. I mean,
how is that not a foul?
I'll be honest, it looks like there were two hands on his neck there. Yeah, it was.
Wilkes is just.
Wilkes is all over the place. That's what he is.
He's got a red card in him. Apparently, I listened to there was a Hull City podcast, and they said that Wilkes has got a nasty side, if you know what I mean. He lives on the edge.
Daniels has been confirmed as of this back 2:15 today, Adam. He is a Pompey man. So it'd be interesting to see how he fits into the lineup for us moving forward, or whether, Sam, you believe he'll probably be someone to provide a bit of support perhaps on the bench.
I think he'll just be there, in case there's an injury. Lee Brown's been injury prone. I'll just stop while we go for Lee Brown's been someone who's been a bit injury prone. He picks up the odd knock here and there, so that's a good ball.
It was a good run from Harness as well. The ball would fractionally overhit from Tom Naylor, and it's gathered by George Long, and Hull will go again. Andrew,
good vision from Tom Naylor though. Again, isn't it? He's a great footballing brain, isn't he?
Well, you've said that about probably all 11 players in the last couple of weeks, mate. So
yeah, well, we did say before when we weren't winning any games, we probably got the best 11 in this league, if not in the Championship. I'd say individual players of their skill sets. It's just about bringing it all together and playing in the right positions, and playing the right players, isn't it?
Referee's
and playing
blown
that formation
up for another foul.
That's what we talked about a lot of times at Fratton Park early in the last season, towards the end of last season, with a couple of additions that we've got now. But yeah, oh come on, Raggett, calm down, man. He's angry.
Doesn't need to foul him there.
He's angry at the moment. He's
been pushed over.
He got a bit muscled out by that guy you were talking about.
Muscled out, was he? He was shoved to the floor.
Well, that's what I mean, muscled over by the guy.
They're both at it again in the box, those two.
Yeah, I think he's wound up a bit, and he's got to be careful because he'll give something away if he's not careful. He's a bit of a hothead, isn't he? He's a hard man, and he's a bit hot-headed.
22 and a half minutes has been played. We're exactly halfway through this first half, and here comes the in swinger on this right-hand side from Hull City. Here it comes. It's a dangerous ball, and it's no. I think Jack Watmore got the last touch on that one.
Own goal.
Yeah, own goal back to Watmore's knee.
And the third game in the pair of for the third goal in this pair of fixtures has been an own goal, and
that's such bad marking that he really wouldn't expect it. It's a free header from the little lad in the middle. It's a free header.
It's Keane Lewis Potter who will. There was the last.
It's unfortunate because it's a good save from McGilvery, and it's come straight back in off Watmore. How has he walked through? He walked through free, completely free.
How can you blame Jack for that, mate? Really?
No, you can't blame Watmore, but you can blame the marking. How there's a free man, he's just walked through. He's just wandered through the kind of the marking on his own. He's got a header in the middle of the box, free.
Perhaps you could go all the way back to that Sean Raggett free kick, mate. And did it really need to be conceded in the first place?
That goal will infuriate the management just because of how poor that free kick was. That the marking from that free kick.
Why are there so many own goals in this fixture, or have there been so far this season?
I'm not sure, mate. I'll tell you what I do think. Listening to what you're both saying and watching what's going on out there, I don't think we need to panic right now. 22 minutes in, own goal by Jack, which is very unfortunate. I would say that we talked about that needless giveaway of the free kick from our friend Raggett, which is what I was saying to you before the game kicked off. If Watmore's making that tackle, they'd end a free kick because he wouldn't have given it away so lamely. Like Raggett's a bit suspect in certain parts of his game, and he is a hard man. He does do a lot of good work for us, but it's just that bit of finesse. That's what you need. And when he's wound up like he is, and they wound him up, he's got to calm down a little bit because it could cost us dearly if we're not careful. And I think the other thing point I'd make is McGilvery maybe when he got down to that header, there wasn't a great deal of power, although it was quite quick. The reactions were good. He might have smothered that if he'd got hold of it and not let it bounce back off Jack. So a couple of small errors there, but it was quite a quick reactive header, wasn't it? So you can't really blame anyone for it, really.
Absolutely. So. Well, Pompey failed to keep that post-war record going. We were only sort of 50 minutes away from it. But Sam, as Andrew said, he doesn't feel like there's a cause for concern. Do you think we need to be worried about conceding that goal?
I think what's the most disappointing thing is the way we've conceded it. And, I kind of jinxed this a little bit because I said that, we've been very good from set pieces. And I said, I don't really think Hull were that much of a threat. And
great ball.
Great ball.
Fantastic ball.
Edge of the box now looking for options, or would he go alone? He does. He's gone for glory there, John Marquis, and it's into the Milton end. I believe it did take a little bit of a deflection there. And
I'll just go back. I just think that the way that how they've let a player who's probably 5'10", probably 5'9", maybe just wander in the middle of the box and head it, get free headed. It's really disappointing. But hopefully we can bounce back. I think we've looked quite. There's definitely something going forward for us. So corner comes in. Oof.
Missed by the defender there. That corner. Watmore looking to redeem himself straight away. Wasn't to be, and that one's over the crossbar again.
It was a great corner. Great
corner.
You put it right where you'd want it, and look at that. Look where it lands.
There's definitely a goal. There's definitely a goal in this for.
Yeah, there is.
You can see that from the start.
It was looking like it before the before the goal went in, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they've kind of, this is ideally what Hull would have wanted, an early goal, and they'll sit back and try and. But there's definitely space in midfield.
Absolutely. Back to Raggett from Andy Cannon. He's on that far side towards the north stand. A little bit of a push on Ronan Curtis, but there won't be a foul for that one. And Ronan Curtis will go back and foul him in return. Oh, that's Andy Cannon. He's fouled him in return.
Curtis has got to be stronger than that, Tom, quicker than that, Tom.
I'd like in that situation, we'd like Lee Brown to make that third man run. Provide something different, because he kind of made the run and then stopped, didn't really go when he should have gone, and then the pass could have been down the line.
Absolutely. Sean says Ronan is so lethargic. Sam, looking off the metal as he hasn't played many games in recent weeks, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to give him a little bit longer. I don't think he's looked any different to Michael Jacobs had when he started, but yeah, he's not the brightest start.
Was looking for a foul on the end of the box there, didn't get it, and the ball is up to Johnny Marquis. Go on, Sam. Sorry, Karen.
Oh no, I'm done. I'll shut up.
He's done. Here is another chance for Hull City. A lot of spring in their step at the moment as George Honeyman puts the ball down to the ever dangerous Keane Lewis Potter, and Jack Watmore's done well there, and it will be a corner ball for Pompey. Sorry, for Hull City. And they do have the 1-0 lead. Boys and girls, I realise I'm not looking through comments, but you've got the A team on comms this afternoon. So apologies if we're not getting through as many as we normally would. Abby said we can nick an equaliser before half-time, then smash them out second half. Yeah, I believe that's kind of what we're talking about there. But there's definitely a goal in this for Pompey as the halfway mark. Sorry, we're talking about half-hour mark is approaching here at Fratton Park, and it's another corner kick for Hull City, and Malik Wilkes is down in the box.
There he is. Him and Raggett are falling out again.
There wasn't a lot in that. Raggett put a hand on him, and Wilkes went down. There's literally nothing in it. Oh no, it's a bit of a push actually.
Yeah, because Wilkes is irritating him. That's why.
He didn't need to go down like that.
No, he didn't. But the point is, this is the game plan, isn't it? Irritate the life out of players. He's a nuisance, as you quite rightly say, and he's an arrogant so-and-so. So he's going to cause problems. We've got to keep cool and not rise to the bait. And the problem is when you're losing and you're aggressive and you're in the pitch and this guy's annoying you, you're gonna. Oh, Jesus!
Headers wide.
Free header again.
It was Callum Johnson or Raggett who made the vital block there. Let's just watch that again.
Lewis Potter again. It's Lewis Potter again.
That could have gone in the back of the net once again, couldn't it?
Got ahead of his header.
It's almost like they're kind of forgetting him in the middle. They're almost sort of just ignoring that he's there.
I think he's a good enough player, Sam, to make a nuisance of himself in those runs. That
he's just being elusive in the middle,
and they're not really keeping up with him. Someone's got to be on him and stay with him, haven't they?
Yeah, but you'd think from a corner, like he shouldn't even get a sniff because of the kind of diminutive size of him. But it's almost like they're just not picking him up.
Oh, Ryan Williams could be in here, but
I think you've got to eat your words there, Sam. They're getting the ball into the box, and that little guy's jumping up and headed it in twice. And one has got contact and is in. The second one wasn't too. If Raggett hadn't got behind him, could have easily been 2-0, couldn't it? And that's the thing.
Yeah. The marking just hasn't been.
No, you're right.
Cannon Tenela 30 yards out, and that will be a free kick in a position once again that's firing range for Pompey.
Lots of niggly fouls are given away, Hull. Like to see the referee get a hold of it.
You took the words out of my mouth, Sam. I was about to say that the referee needs to get a hold on the game, and
it's probably been the same couple of players now. They've probably taken 2-3 fouls each, so you'd like to think at some point
cards are on the way.
Like to see Lee Brown maybe float this in. Raggett 1-1.
Ronan's going to take it, I think. That's what he needs to do. Stick it down here to Johnson. Stick it down to Johnson. That's what he needs to do. Just roll it over there into that corner.
Just to describe what you're talking about, Johnson's right on the far right-hand side of play outside the penalty area, and the Lee Brown and Ronan Curtis looking for this route one ball, and it is in to the box, and Sean Raggett got his head on it. It's actually an offside there. But he just went a little bit too early there, Sean Raggett, caught by the offside trap, and he'll trot back to his position. Max has said, need the mighty Marquis to work his magic. Hopefully something's incoming. Adam worries for Raggett's temperament. Feel like Kenny may bring on Rasmus if he starts lashing out more and letting more free kicks go. Yeah, it's something that they're definitely looking for, isn't it, Adam? So Huey said we're not creating enough down the left-hand wing. Sam, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we haven't created enough down both wings, to be honest. There's not been that many crosses going in. Most of our good plays kind of been in that centre midfield area. We just need to get the ball out and switch it quicker.
Matt Taylor scored for Oxford United. They are now 1-0 up against Bristol Rovers. A couple of moments ago, well, just now actually, Crewe Alexandra have equalised against AFC Wimbledon. It's Oliver Finney with the goal on 32 minutes. Back here at Fratton Park, it's Pompey 0, Hull City 1. Still a long way to go in this one as the ball is up to Jack Watmore, who... Oh, crikey. Can Marcus gets the ball here, and he's almost in there. It's hassling.
He's almost up there on his own, though, isn't he? Look at, he's playing a lone striker, isn't he, at the minute? Where's Harness, and where's the support from Williams, and where's the width from Curtin?
Raggett manages to prevent that ball through from Smallwood there. Actually, he's done really well. Right, yeah. And the ball is over to Callum Johnson on this left-hand side, looking to make something happen on the right.
I think what's frustrating is that Hull haven't really created anything. Was that the two crosses, this from set pieces? They haven't really created anything from open play yet, which is a bit frustrating to be 1-0 down. But it's been a relatively even game.
Absolutely. There's 147 of you that join us across YouTube and Facebook. Boys and girls, get the stream up to 100 likes. That'll be wonderful. Sam's very kindly agreed to join us for the afternoon. He's providing an excellent alternative view on this as opposed to just myself and Andrew rabbiting on. So thanks for joining us again, mate. Greg Doherty on the ball now, heading over halfway for Hull City, looking to make something happen for them once again. And Lee Brown watches that ball all the way. He's done really well there, and here's Ronan Curtis. It's the high and forward, but again, Ryan Williams just can't get on that one. He does get on that one, but there's no one ahead of it for him.
I'd like to see us try and win a few more second balls. We're just sometimes the basics do help quite a bit. We're just not winning up. They seem to be picking up a lot of second balls in that midfield area. So it'd be nice,
I suppose.
Yeah, we're just not getting there at the moment.
Some news to bring you elsewhere in League One. Johnson Clark Harris has missed a penalty at Portman Road. It remains 0-0, but Harris has missed a penalty on 32 minutes. So there's news for you there. Rebecca, a very good afternoon to you. It did not snow last night down south. Sam, did it snow where you are, mate?
No, mate, nothing.
Just
Unfortunately, it's just really cold.
ice, mate, that's all we get.
Yeah.
It did in the north of England, and it will continue to do over the next couple of days, Rebecca. But we haven't had anything. And William, on the other hand, has got a foot in the state of New York, and he's got more on the way. Sam, you've spent some time in that part of the world, mate. What's it like over there?
Oh, I've only been there in the summer, mate. Yeah, so I can't really. I'll just shut up again. Harness on the right here.
He's twisting and turning. He looks for Naylor. Tries to chip into the middle, but the claims of handball. Was there anything in that, Sam?
No, it didn't look like it to me. We're winning the ball back a bit better now, up in higher areas, which is where we're good.
Cannon drives forward to the edge of the area. That's Ryan Williams, who's under pressure and lays it off well. Here comes an in-swinging ball from Curtis. Falls to Harness. Naylor. Referee's going to play on. Here's Callum Johnson. Ball goes in. Deflection. Williams with the header, and that's wide. And
I'd like to see the ref pull that back there, because that's a cynical foul. And again, nothing. He's like one of their midfielders. Again, a few times now they've made a foul, and he's given nothing.
Harness needed a lot of power behind that to create any sort of problems for Hull City. Andrew, do you agree with Sam? Would you have brought that one back?
Yeah, who's going to do it? He's got to do it earlier than the header from Harness, and so he wasn't.
I wouldn't have brought the foul back for. It was a good advantage, but I would have liked to see the ref kind of maybe chat or talk to him or give him something, because it's happened a couple of times now in that midfield area, and if none of them are on a yellow card, they're just going to keep them doing it.
Yeah, we often criticise the officials, mate. This one is not the best, is he? But he is.
No, I don't really like criticising officials. I think it's a cop out. I don't really like when managers do it, because
I agree with you, but there's some obvious errors there that.
Raggett's conceded another corner there.
This is the point I'm making about being the finished article. If that was Watmore there,
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't have thought there's an awful lot he can do there, Sean Raggett.
Well, there is. His first touch is just shocking. He's just got to whack it out.
Keeper could have.
Yeah, keeper could have come for it.
Keeper that helped him out a bit.
He's got to come on there, and keeper's got to come on there, or because Raggett couldn't touch it twice, could he? Then he just had to. Yeah, keeper's got to come for it. He couldn't knock it back to him. Or he's going to put it in Rose Ed up here in the south stand, not behind the goal, wasn't it?
Both arms up in the air for George Honeyman as the corner is sent in. It's short, and it's Callum Elder who gets the ball in initially, and that's only going to trouble the near post. And Craig McGilvery will happily take a break and go and get that goal kick underway for Pompey. It's still 1-0 to Hull City, the visitors. There are, I don't know how many minutes on the clock. It's disappeared, but we've been live for just under an hour. There we go, 37 and a bit minutes. On the clock. There's 144 of you that join us across YouTube and Facebook. A very good afternoon to you all. Unfortunately, it's not a fantastic afternoon so far for Pompey on the pitch. Sam, are you wearing a Pompey shirt from the 90s? Asks Pompey Chivers.
Yeah, I got it off the club store. Actually, they were doing some cheap. They did like replica kits, the old one. So yeah,
lovely,
quite cool.
There we go. We are Replica Kits FC on these streams, man. I don't know if you've seen, but our guests at halftime like to bring a replica kit to us as well. So it's replicas all over the shop today. As Ryan Williams I wasn't really watching it. Was he chasing a ball there, I assume? And that
chasing lost calls, really, Tom.
Yeah. You're not very happy?
No, because they're not very good.
Right.
I think I'd actually agree with Andrew there. Yeah, I just don't think. I actually thought AS Wimbledon looked better than this lot for the first half.
I agree,
3-0 up. I don't think they're very good.
The thing is, this might end up 1-0 to them. That's the scary bit, because it might. We've got to get. I think we've got to get back into this game before half time. We've got to go in 1-1 at least at half time, just to give them less confidence for the second half.
Are you worried that the game might... Oh, it's hit the referee. He's going to have to blow up for that one. Are you worried that the game might run away from us if we aren't on level terms at the half-time whistle?
I think, Tom, if we don't score and get onto level terms, they could nick another one, and it's 2-0, and we're struggling then second half, aren't we? So I think we've got to get one before they get the next one. That's what I'm saying. And if they get another one, we could struggle, like we did against Charlton. There's a lot of huff and puff there, but no real... We're not testing their keeper very much, are we?
Play resumes as the referee got it by the ball, and new rules gesticulate that uncontested. What What are they called, Sam?
Charlton losing 2-0.
They are. I was just about to say that you could be worse. You could be a Charlton fan. Swindon Town to double their lead, courtesy of Palmer. It's a ball into the box, and Hull City will look to get a grip on this one. But Callum Johnson did well there, and Andy Cannon has threaded a ball through to John Marquis. He's away here, right down on the far touchline. He's got to take it past an orange and black shirt. He hasn't got an awful lot of it.
For him?
Curtis has got to make a better run there.
He has. And then he stood behind him and waited.
There's chances on the break. There's chances going forward to break this defence down. Because I think that there's gaps appearing. But
at the moment, I think I'd bring Jacobs on for him second half because he ain't doing nothing.
Williams has done well there. Nice harness. He drives one and it's high and it almost hits the seats that myself, Alan and Andrew were sitting in for the first game back at Fratton Park against Peterborough United. It was that bad. We were right at the back of the Milton in there. Wasn't fantastic there from well, the work with the ball was good, but it's just that final product sound that he couldn't quite master there.
Yeah, I mean, I know Andrew was just saying about getting one back before half time. I just think it's important we don't give anything silly away because 2-0 makes it so much harder. The longer this stays 1-0, the easiest we'll get for us. But I mean, because I do think a chance will come. I do think a chance will come.
I think that's probably the most blatant handball I think I've ever seen there from George Honeyman, and the referee's blown up. It's a Brexit vote in terms of possession. Pompey with 48 and Hull just edging it on 52. I think the players are just overhitting forward balls and not passing or crossing and shooting well. Nothing tactically wrong, just lack of final quality. That's what we were just discussing with Williams' effort there. And George Long will come, and that is how you clear a ball out of danger. And there will be a Pompey throw-in. As Gillingham have taken the lead against Rochdale. Here's Andy Cannon, finds Callum Johnson on this near side. Comes back on his left foot and puts the ball in early doors. And there's Curtis. He takes it on, and Marquis is nowhere near to receive that one. And Greg Doherty will get that one away as far as Callum Johnson.
I think it was one of them where at first I thought he was going to, don't foul him. Oh, such a stupid foul.
And in anger, Ronan Curtis is...
To be fair, they're good at falling over. Watch this.
It's a foul, though, isn't it? It's a foul, nonetheless.
No, it isn't. It's obstruction again, like the other one earlier. They've got a knack of doing that, and Curtis has got a point. The guy comes across him and then dives in front of him. What can he do? He's running at pace, and that's their game, isn't it? Stop him playing, and they've stopped him playing.
It's a championship foul, isn't it, Sam?
It's one of those ones. It's almost like Nathan Thompson-esque, where they're just where you feel any contact go down. It's professionalism. It's professionalism. It's part of the game now. So, but this is good pressure from Pompey. Yeah, it's better.
It's a good response, isn't it?
Hull have done well though. Played the way out of
it. Here's King Lewis Potter, who's looking ever dangerous for Hull City.
He's dangerous. He's that little ginger kid, isn't he?
Yeah, ball is back with Callum Elder. He finds White.
He's been at Hull a while, that boy.
Keen Lewis Potter. He's recently signed a new contract, hasn't he, Sam? Yeah. But I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, he's from the academy. Yeah.
Right, there you go. Hull City still lead 1-0 here at Fratton Park. We're just approaching half-time now. 43 minutes has been played. A couple of minutes left of regulation time. And as Andrew said, Pompey needs to get back into this one a little bit sharpish because could be struggling otherwise, couldn't we? It's Callum Elder with the ball in his hands. He's got Honeyman to look for, and he finds him. Gets in front of Harness, and Ryan Williams tries to go. He does well, actually, to win the ball back, and Harness will fire one long towards John Marquis, who touches it brilliantly. And this is
really well there.
And it's unlucky there. Jacob Greaves did well and got a foot in and won the ball there. It's a wayward touch from Malik Wilkes, but his team
space as well, not closing them down quick enough.
Still keep possession.
A lot of space out there, isn't there, for both teams?
Callum Elder making his 50th appearance in a Hull City shirt this afternoon. It's a cross ball. Is looking for Keen Lewis Potter there, but it was a combination of Jack Watmore and Callum Johnson to deal with that. Andrew, we're coming up to half time, mate. Your general overview of what you've seen in the first 45 minutes?
We look the better outfit, Tom. They've come here to get a point, really. I think possibly nick a win 1-0. That's their game plan. They're not really a threat apart from that Potter we talked about. He's dangerous. We just need that penetration in the final third, don't we? We need some width.
Elder puts the ball in, and it's just over Malik Wilkes' head. A little bit lower than that, and that could have been 2-0.
In the forward line, doesn't he?
Oh, that'll be referee will blow up for that one. And again, I think Tom Nader's playing the game now as well. It's George Honeyman with the foul there. He's won a free kick, Tom Naylor, and there is now just 1 minute to go. That's been added on to this first half. Sam, I saw a comment a second ago from Sean who said 2 up front will murder them second half. I wonder what you're thinking at this point.
Yeah, I mean, whether he means with lobbing Ellis Harrison up or on as well alongside Marquis, or trying to push Williams right up high up against him, because at the moment he's just playing a little bit too deep. Again, it's just been I think it's been a very even game. 2 good teams. I think their goal was fortunate in the end, the way it went in. But Pompey have to defend better than they have done. I don't necessarily think 1-0 was a bad score for Pompey to go in, and because it could have got worse if we just hadn't got going. But they just need to get the ball I think we need to get the ball out wide a bit better, because we're just a bit quicker as well, because we just haven't been moving.
Up top on his own, mate, it never works, does it? It never will work. There's no point in just firing a long ball to him every 10 minutes. He's got 4 defenders around him. We ain't going to score all afternoon if we carry on like this. That's a fact. He's got to change formation. He's got to put someone up there with him. I don't think Harrison is the answer. Harris is the answer.
Andrew's wish cannot be granted. The halftime whistle has gone. You were saying you wanted one back before halftime. Sam's just told us that that's not a bad scoreline to go in as. And it is
scoreline is 1-0 to them.
Well, it's 1-0 to them, but a team at the top of the table, it's not as bad as it could be. You could be a Charlton Athletic fan. It could be worse. Right. I'm going to be very unprofessional here. I am desperate to relieve myself. So as soon as our guests are ready to go, Andrew, you're going to take this seat.
Sam can talk to them, can't he?
Sam, well, I'm going to leave it up to you two to chat to them. There will be a couple of recognisable faces that will join us very shortly. Let's just have a quick look and see what's going on elsewhere in League One this afternoon. I'll give you some of the scores that have gone in as I just get that up. It's currently goalless between Wigan Athletic and Fleetwood Town. Sunderland are 1-0 up at half-time against Shrewsbury. We know our score. Oxford United are 1-0 up against Bristol Rovers. It's goalless between Lincoln City and Northampton, as is between Ipswich Town and Peterborough. As I said, Johnson Clark-Harris missed a penalty midway through that first half. Gillingham are a goal to the good against Rochdale. Crewe Alexandra are level 1-1 with AFC Wimbledon. And as I said just then, Swindon Town go in 2-0 up at the Valley at half-time against Charlton Athletic. Right, Brendan is here. He's ready. We'll get to Douglas and Adam in just a moment. I'm going to shoot off. Brendan, the floor is yours, my son.
Well, that's not the greatest half of football I've seen this season at all. I think some players haven't been up for it. I think Brown hasn't been at the game. He for the goal, he lost his marker. The bloke won the header over him, and obviously then Jack's put it in his own net. Harness isn't tracking back at all, and sadly Marquis's foot's like a trampoline. He can't trap anything at the moment, just bounces off him. So I think a few changes need to be made early in the second half.
Who would you bring on, Brendan?
Well, definitely left back. Gosh, the new lad White can play at full back. We've heard he's a bit of a utility. Or stick him at left back. I think Harness needs to come off, and maybe Hawula. Even Ben Close showed he can play on the wing on the other night.
Yeah,
and then Harrison.
Yeah, what, Harrison for Marquis?
Yeah, I think these players need a rest. I think they're not at it completely night and day compared to Tuesday night. I know it's a different quality in team, but you're still bringing that mentality.
Yeah, I think we're fortunate. We're not. I think it could have been worse if the team hadn't let that goal get to them. They could have shipped another one. So I think 1-0 isn't the worst result. We still can definitely get back into it. Played well in the last few weeks, so there's no reason why we can't get back into it. I just think we need to show a bit more intensity going forward. start pressing those midfielders, start winning it high up the pitch, because I think they're there to be got at. I don't, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm listening to what you're both saying. I think the changes, personally, I don't think they need to be that rational, Brendan, if you don't mind me saying, Bud, but it's I think we need certainly Ronan Curtis. I think he's got to come off because he's just not at the races. He's at that time in his season where he has this 3 or 4 game lull, isn't he? And he's had that. So I'll get Jacobs on for him and get someone really wide. And then Williams has got to go. For me, he's been a little bit greedy recently. He got a couple of goals, didn't he? In a couple of last games. And ever since then, he's been trying to be the Superman. Where that last ball he shot over the bar, he did well to get into that position, of course, and beat 2 or 3 players. But Marcus is waiting for that ball, and he should have got it to him, and it might have been a different game. Instead of that, he whacks it over the bar. So there's things like that I think need tidying up. And as you say, Harness has not been in the game, has he? But is that because Hull tactically is saying, right, stop him playing, don't get Ronan Curtis on the ball, and we'll win this game. Maybe that's their tactics.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen Harness in it the last couple of games personally. I don't think he wasn't there on Tuesday night. I don't think Harness was there.
No, right. Mm-hmm.
Even Fleetwood, Harness was a passenger.
Yeah.
But because a lot of these players, they get people rant and rave when they have a couple of games. Like obviously scored his hat trick at the start of the season, and I think everyone's living off of that at the moment. It's like, maybe he needs a change. Because as stat came out, we've used the fewest players this year. We haven't used 20 players in the team this year. So is that going to show us burning out? Which, good God, I don't want us to burn out. That's the last thing I want in this team. But I could see it. I said January and February, it's so compact with games. It's Tuesday, Saturday. So players need a rest, and playing them for 90 minutes isn't the best thing to do. What do you think?
Maybe it's a positive. We're not in the cups anymore. Obviously, we've gone deep into cup competitions the last 2 seasons, and that's really had an effect. Especially that first season when we lost in the playoff to Sunderland. So that can only be a positive this season. Not going deep into cups. Other teams are still going in the Papa John's Trophy, whatever it's called now, and the FA Cup. So it's probably a good thing that could help us going later on into the season.
Brendan, your score prediction for the second half, mate?
2-2.
Oh,
yeah. I want to. I'd love us to win it 3-1, but I don't know. Unless Kenny puts a rocket up somewhere, it's going to be a tough one.
He's not capable of doing that. We know that. He can't put a rocket up people. He'll be in there boring the pants off them.
And we'll get Ricky Hatton, Joe Gallen in there to sort them out.
Yeah, that's what you need. Joe Gallen needs to get in and start ranting and raving.
I was going to say, I don't think Kenny Jackett could put a rocket into space. Brendan, thank you so much for joining us, mate. We are going to crack on with the rest of our guests, and I hopefully will be joining you in Tuesday, then next Saturday. See you then.
With a smile on the face at 45 minutes from now.
Yes, take care, boys.
Cheers, Brendan. Appreciate it, mate. That was Brendan. Let's go to Douglas. Good afternoon to you, my friend. How are you?
Hello, I'm well, and you?
Douglas, good, mate.
We're very well. What did you make of that?
Oh, wow. That own goal was a shocker, wasn't it? Really, I don't know. I don't know how to comment on that, to be honest.
Why do you think there are so many own goals going in this fixture, Douglas? We had 2 at the KCOM, and now we've had 1 in the first 45. What's going on?
They're not really playing that well, are they, today, for some reason? We're not really playing. We're not on our game at the moment. I just can't see us. We're struggling, really, by those things. But, yeah.
What needs to change for you in this second half?
Try and get up there. Try and get into them, really, to be honest, I'm not really sure, because,
Harvey White is set to come on at the break.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I've just seen that as well. Do you think that will make a difference, Sam?
Who's he going to come in for?
Not too sure at the moment, but good ball playing midfielder. See what he's got. This is he's coming in for game time. There you go. Have a game against top of the league. See what he can do.
Excellent.
Well, he seems to be a good player. All the things that people have been saying about him. They're bigging him up really well, like, you know. So
yeah, let's hope he can live up to that.
yeah, exactly. So fingers crossed, you know.
Brendan, your full-time score prediction, mate? Sorry, Douglas, full-time score prediction.
2-1 Pompey.
Excellent. We'll take that. Nice load of positivity.
Yeah.
And do you think, even after this result, we are still looking at promotion this season for Pompey? If this result doesn't go our way,
I reckon we got it in the bag. To be honest, I reckon we can do it.
Excellent, lovely. Douglas, spreading the positivity, much appreciated for coming on, mate. And hopefully, we'll see you in a couple of games' time.
Yes, certainly.
See you soon, mate. Have a good one.
And you guys, cheers.
Cheers, mate.
What have I missed in the last couple of moments?
Aaron waiting in the background.
Yes, Aaron and Adam. I'm aware I'm missing one of our two favourite people, but let's get those boys on. Let's get them on. Let's go to Aaron first. How are you, mate?
Hello, how are you? You all right? Bit frustrated.
I can tell. You normally got a smile on your face.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be tough. I knew this game was going to be tough because it's Hull. They got relegated last season, so they were favourites to go back up. But it's just frustrating how they're playing. They've either come for he had a master plan to come for a point. That's what he wants today, is come for a point or nick it by a silly mistake. And in the comments earlier on, I did say it's either going to be a 1-0 like by a mistake, but I think if he can kick everyone up the bum, we can come back and nick this. I think the problem with some of our players as well is they know they're the starting 11 week in, week out. So they're just trundling along. If there's other people there fighting for positions and everything, it might be a different story. Like Curtis as well. He's probably in that mindset at the moment to throw his arms up in the air like he does, have a hissy fit when things aren't going his way. So I'm glad that there's other players that can take that position as well. But Harness, I'm not sure what's going on with him. I know he's a wicked player when he's actually on form. But at the moment, lately, he's just not doing it. He's just not doing it at all at the moment. So it's just really frustrating at the moment. But I think something needs to happen. Like with Marquis on his own again. We know he can play, but he just needs that other player next to him instead of just trying to play him the balls, because they've come with a game plan. And at the moment, it's working for them. So it's just like we need to step up, come in the second half, come out blazing, get a quick early goal, and then get them on the back foot and then just nick a win. So I'm saying about 2-1 win this. I'm more nervous about this game. I'm not worried about Lincoln on Tuesday, and I'm definitely not worried about Charlton next Saturday. So if we can get at least a point or a win out of this one and 2 wins next week, we'll be fine. But I'm just really, really nervous about this game. I don't know why it is, but I think because of the mind games their manager was doing for the last couple of days. It was just like, yeah, you're trying to do mindsets and everything. And Kenny's Kenny won't actually do the mind games and everything, but he's just too far laid back at times. I know we're doing fantastic. We're up in the top of the part of the league, but he just needs to kick him up the arse, really. Pardon my language, if anyone's offended, sorry. But he needs to sort them out and everything, and especially getting the balls down the wings. Like they must have the smallest team in the whole league. I don't think anyone's over 5'10", is it? I think everyone's like 5'9" and everything. I don't think they've got a very tall team, but they're winning things. And it's like, well, we shouldn't be doing that. We just need Raggett to score. I would love Raggett to score again, but it's just it's just a little bit frustrating, as you say. Yeah. So,
Sam, anything to build off what Aaron said? I know we mentioned that you weren't too worried about Charlton Athletic next week. What's your thoughts right now?
Yeah, this would be. I agree. This is the game where it's the one that's kind of going to reflect most on our season. I think the next 2 games are ones that are definitely more winnable. It's interesting what you said about the squad depth as well, because I agree with that in the sense that a lot of these players haven't got really any competition like that's actually going to go in and take their place. So that's interesting. Well, and that was shown up in that Peterborough game when we played our second string team and got turned over. But yeah, I do think there's definitely a goal in this. I actually haven't been very. I don't want to say it just because we're losing, but I haven't been overly impressed with Hull. I haven't really done that much, and they find themselves 1-0 up. But I do think there's definitely a goal in this for us. Whether it's 1 or 2, we'll have to see. But I wouldn't be a draw is actually a better result for us than it is for them because we've got a game in hand. So I definitely think there's a goal in this, and just hopefully the boys can come out with a bit more impetus in the second half.
Aaron, Sam's just said there that this is one of those season-defining games. Do you think that this does seriously make an impact on what's going to come for the next couple of weeks? This result today, is it that crucial?
Well, the other day I was on one of the forums and everything. They're all predicting how many points we're going to get over the next 3 games. If we get 7 points, I'm fine with that. I can see us beating Lincoln and I can see us beating Charlton, not a problem. Today is a really, really tough game. If we can get a point out of it, all well and good. But if we can get the 3 points, even better, because I'm not scared of Lincoln or Charlton at all. Hull has just come with a game plan. They're playing tactics like for the Championship with like the little jumping in front of the players and everything to stop us playing and everything. But if we can come out fighting, get a goal within the first 10 minutes, and then get them on the back foot, and then just rag it to score a 90th minute winner, that'd make my day, really.
Thanks, Aaron. Much appreciated, mate. And we look forward to seeing you on the next stream. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome to.
I'm always available, so not a problem at all. Not a problem at all.
Cheers, Aaron. Brilliant, mate. Appreciate you coming on. We're going to throw something at Adam just as he joins us. White and Close on, Williams and Cannon off. Your immediate reaction to that?
Right. Well, we know that White is a very creative and talented player, and he's probably willing to show us all what he can really do. I don't know which one's coming off for which. Was it Naylor coming off? Did you say?
It is Williams and Cannon coming off.
Williams and Cannon. Yeah, no, I think that's the right choice. I don't think Williams has really shown enough today. I think he's ordinarily one of our best players. Works really hard on off the ball, running all the way back to try and get it. And I think that's the right choice.
Sam, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm obviously bringing 2 centre midfielders on here for a winger or a striker and a centre midfielder. So it looks like we're trying to. We have to wait and see how they shape up and who plays where, but maybe trying to dominate that midfield a little bit more, because maybe go 4-3-3 and try and dominate that midfield, because we haven't really got on the ball enough in there, and bringing these 2 on will probably give us that little bit more impetus in there. So I'd assume it'd be Naylor, White and Close in midfield, Marcus up front, Harness on the right, Curtis on the left. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing, because what was happening in the first half wasn't working, so Jackett's changed it up. We can't really blame him for kind of sticking with like something that isn't working. He's changed it up, and we'll have to see if it works in the second half. But I'm excited to see White play.
Absolutely. I know Adam's a massive fan of Harvey White as well. Just a question. Ben Close scoring the 4 for Pompey on Tuesday night. Adam, do you reckon that's the reason why he's in the side this afternoon for the second half?
Yeah, I reckon he's probably buzzing with confidence after that. Putting his name out there again. He's probably fallen down the ranks, and it's always good for a player to, I imagine, get a goal and show to the management that they're still there when all these incredible talented players are coming up and through the club. So I'm sure a lot of other players would try and do what he's doing now. I mean, I think probably Lee Brown's looking like he's going to really be struggling after this new signing of Daniels. After someone with his credentials, I think he's going to really have to put his foot out there.
Andrew,
Adam, do you think taking Cannon off is the right person to take off the pitch? Personally, my own view is I think he's probably the best player we've got. He might not have shown it today, perhaps, but there's another 45 minutes on the pitch. I'm disappointed he's gone, to be fair, because I think he's done as much as anyone else has across the middle.
I agree with the Williams one, but I do think Cannon is probably our best player on the pitch still. I think maybe taking Curtis off would have been a better option. Curtis is a bit lackluster, a bit lazy sometimes, and feels like he is like the big shot, the big star, and I don't think he's got so much talent, but I just think there are players that work 10 times harder than him on the pitch. Yeah, and I do think maybe we should have taken Curtis off instead, teach him a lesson.
I think I tend to agree. One thing you can say in Kenny Jackett's, to give him some credit, he doesn't care who the player is, does he? If he doesn't think they're playing well in the first 45,
he's ruthless with his changes, isn't he?
He's pretty ruthless. He's got no sort of allegiance to change anyone, is he? He'll drop anyone and bring anyone else in, with the exception of Curtis, perhaps. But he did that last season, didn't he? So I don't know. I'm disappointed that Cannon's not there, to be honest. I don't think he's done too badly, considering how badly not badly we've played, but how we haven't played to our strengths.
Yeah, I reckon it's sort of potentially been like forced into putting Curtis on the pitch because he's such a big name. It's like it's almost a tragedy to like put him off the pitch. Like he gets so much backlash for not starting our best player.
Yeah.
So I think he's almost had to put him in there, but he knows that he might not be the hardest working. It's a bit,
Adam, obviously we know things are going to need to change, and hopefully these substitutions can make an impact on that. Are you concerned at all being 1-0 down to Hull for promotion hopes, or is this just a good team that we're doing all right against?
Yeah, they're probably the biggest title contenders against us. I mean, if we can nick a draw, it's all right, but I don't think it's the end of the world if we lose this. Maybe it's a bit of karma for when we played our game. I mean, it's ironic that it's an own goal and that we've scored it, but I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world. I do think of it as karma, I guess, after what we did to them. I think either of us know that we're both the best teams in the league, so one win either way is probably fair, I'd say.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it that way. If we win the fixture up there and they win the one down at Fratton Park, hopefully, obviously, that's not the case, and we've got another 45 minutes to see if that changes. Adam, great to have you on as ever, mate. Hopefully, you're free for. Oh my word, a bit of a chance.
I think I'd say before Adam goes.
Go on, go for it.
A lot of good comments always from Adam and the other guys that come on. All good stuff. There's it just seems to be for all of us, Sam, you, me, Adam, all the boys that we're talking to,
depressed.
Everyone seems a bit low, a little bit low, chaps. So let's try and pick the mood up and give it the old Pompey spirit. And I think
we'll be fine.
Let's get into these suckers and beat them.
There we go. What a way to leave it, Adam. We'll hopefully see you Tuesday and Saturday, mate. Pleasure to have you on as always. Look after yourself. See you soon.
You too. See you later.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. That was Adam, and thank you very much to Aaron and Douglas as well for joining us. And that was half-time. Myself, Andrew and Sam are back on the commentary for you as Ronan Curtis has failed to pick it all up. And Sam, you've been watching the first sort of 3 minutes of that second half. Is there anything to tell us about?
Yeah, so we've matched them up with formations basically. So we've gone 4-3-3 as well with White and Close going in midfield, kind of playing a little bit further forward than Naylor. So Naylor's sitting, and then we're playing with two centre midfielders going forward. It's something different. See if we can match them up. The only thing we're a bit concerned about is Marquis maybe getting a bit isolated because he might not have that other striker up there with him. So we'll just have to wait and see. But initially, it looks like we've been getting there's a lot more pressure in that midfield. It looks a bit more congested to stop them getting on the ball. I'm pleased Ben Close is getting a game as well because I don't think he's done much wrong in a Pompey shirt. I'm a massive fan of him.
You've mentioned Ben Close just then, Sam. I'll open this up to the floor for both of you. But do you worry that Pompey lose a little bit of pace going forwards with Ryan Williams and Cannon coming off, and we've got now Ben Close? Oh, there's a shot from I think it's actually Keane Lewis Potter who's shot that time. That's a less troubling one than the one a couple of moments ago for Craig McGilvery to deal with. But do you worry is pace an issue moving forward for Pompey now, or are we going to be all right?
I would have taken Curtis off instead of Williams, and I would have, if he's going to do this, I would have moved Williams out wide because Curtis hasn't done enough in his first game in the first half, and he's got no divine right to be starting. Williams has been superb.
With Adam, wasn't it, that it's the name Ronan Curtis that starts, but actually, is it beneficial for the team, perhaps?
Yeah, Williams has been superb the last 5-6 games. He has one bad half and he's hoiked off. I just don't necessarily agree with that. And Curtis has been out. Curtis has been out for a couple of games, not really done anything, and now he's I don't know. I would have just stuck with Williams, even if it's on the left, or maybe Harness on the left, Williams on the right. I would have just changed it up. But yeah, there is a lot. You can see that taking Williams off, it does take a lot of pace out of the game. But also, they're trying to get a bit more control in that midfield. And Harvey White as well. Apparently, heard rumours that he's got one of the best set pieces at Tottenham throughout any age group. So it'd be interesting to see if we get something, a free kick or something like that. See what his delivery is like.
Well, we had a couple in a decent enough position for him in the first half, didn't we, Sam? So it's just a shame that he wasn't on the pitch to take them potentially. Right, here's Marcus Harness, who, again, hasn't had the best game in a Pompey shirt, and he's given that one away quite cheaply there for Hull City to capitalise. And Lee Brown has put a stop to that capitalisation, and it will be a Hull City throw in midway inside Pompey territory. You've just said we want some positivity, and you're making noises behind me like that.
I'm just frustrated, Tom, because they aren't very good, and we just got to start playing our football the way we play our football. We've got to go wider. We've got to be quicker. Harness did a great bit of football then, but he wasn't aware that the players coming in behind him. He should know that.
Good win.
You know, dangerous. Freaking
what
dangerous.
John Mark was doing.
The referee's actually given a foul on the edge of the box for against Callum Johnson there.
I thought he won the ball.
We'll watch it again.
They're pretty good at falling
yes,
over.
He did win the ball. There's nothing wrong with that.
They're pretty good at falling over, Hull. They're very, very clever.
This is a very, very dangerous position.
The good thing is, Sam, my phone would have told me that they've scored by now if it had gone in. So I think we're all right on this occasion, but I don't want to eat my words. Craig McGilvery is just setting up. I think he's dyed his hair, hasn't he, Craig? Or is it raining? Not sure. 5 men in the Pompey wall. Raggett, Watmore, Tom Naylor and John Marquis. Ben Close just waving around on the edge. 52 minutes, a free kick in a dangerous position, as Sam's just said, for Hull City, as Craig McGilvery readies himself. Referee blows his whistle. Potter takes it and it's wide.
If it was on target, that
would have gone in because he was nowhere near it, was he?
Didn't move.
I think that looked from the camera angle a lot closer because I've got a feeling McGilvery would have died for it.
You can't really tell from here, can you?
See it until they got to the head, the line, mate. I think it was that.
I think what is clear is this Lewis Potter's dangerous, and they've done well. They've done well to get a new contract on him.
Is that the difference between the game at the K-Com and today, Sam? Do you reckon he's made that difference?
Oh yeah, he's the one who pretty much got if you got the assist for the goal, if you like. So
yeah, interesting. You should say that they've done well to keep him on that contract, Sam. The main reason for that probably is COVID related, in terms of there aren't teams out there paying big money for players, so therefore he's signing up because no one else is coming for big money for him. That's probably the reason. But as soon as this gets, I don't see him staying there too long. No.
I was about to say, I reckon they've just done that contract so they don't lose him on a minimal money in the summer. Yeah, so they'll probably lose him for. He's won the ball there.
He's a good player. He's a good player, mate.
Oh, dangerous.
Under 21s or anything like that? Do you know?
Not too sure.
He looks that good, I think.
Sam, you got any lights in the room you're in right now?
Yeah, I was just about to do that, mate.
Is that all right? That's perfect. Lovely stuff.
Oh, Dad, can you just fit the light on? Yeah, because it's too dark on the camera.
Sean Raggett now with a ball to Callum Johnson. You could probably shut the old. Yeah, there we go. Lovely stuff.
Is that better?
Wonderful. That's better than it was. Yeah, nice one. Here's Alfie Jones now, who I haven't seen a lot of for Hull City so far this afternoon. 54 minutes has been played now. Callum Johnson wins ahead of Pompey, but it's only as far as Greg Doherty, and Keane Lewis Potter will look to move forward. That one's out of play on the far side, north stand, and that will be a Hull City throw-in, which Callum Elder will take.
They're taking forever with everything.
Well, they will do, won't they? Not a surprise.
Hull definitely been the better team in this second half.
Yeah, well, they've had all the ball, haven't they?
I don't think we've really had anything heading towards the Fratton end, have we? The camera's been completely constrained to the Milton end, and it is still, as Hull City come again with Louis Coyle down this right-hand side. Curtis looks to get it off him, and he's done well there, and that will be a throw-in for Hull City. They take quickly. Greg Doherty, perhaps too quickly there, and Lee Brown is able to win back the ball for Pompey. Marquis has done well to hold that up, though, and Ben Close will fire a ball.
Poor ball. Such a poor ball. There was a chance there. Needs that play in with pace at him.
Is that something that Cannon or Williams might have done, Sam?
No, I'm not saying that. I think Close has got a good range of passing. I'm just saying that individual ball he could have He could have played that ball. He could have zipped it into him on the floor as opposed to floating it in the air.
Well, Pompey at the moment, luckily,
If we nick a draw out of this,
I can't believe you just said nick a draw. You never say nick a draw.
I'm saying that because we don't look like we're going to nick a draw. But if we nick a draw at home to Hull, I don't like saying it because it's very pessimistic, but I'd be happy with that. I think at the minute, I just don't want to lose this 2 or 3-0 because
I'll take it at the moment. I'll take a draw. Snap your hand off for a draw right now.
That's what I'm saying. Now at this point, I think I would just sort of say, actually, I would take this.
Yeah. Sam, is there any positives to take from those 2 changes at half time? You've seen them for the last 10, nearly 15 minutes now.
The game's a lot more congested in the middle of the park. There's not a lot of time on the ball, but they're just playing through that, if you like. They're just
Here we go.
Better ball.
Ronan Curtis on this left-hand side.
It's a corner.
It is a corner ball for Pompey, and that'll be, I believe, their first of the second half as we enter the 50. We're about to enter the 57th minute.
They need to make one of these count. Games like this, fine margins, set pieces win it, and this is what we need to make count.
Here comes that corner from Ronan Curtis. It's a poor delivery. Can't even beat the first man. And the ball is out to Lee Brown and Harvey White with a touch on the ball. It's not a bad delivery, but the keeper will come and claim that one. Right on the penalty spot from Harvey White, but George Long was quick to react to that.
No one's coming in for the header, are they? No one's.
That's so poor from Curtis. So poor.
It is the definition of not beating the first man, that one, unfortunately.
I just said that games like this are fine margins. It was never going to be a high-scoring one. Fine margins, and to not even beat the first man from a good opportunity from a corner, it's very poor.
Is Louis Coyle down on this right-hand side for Hull City. Honeyman spreads play, and that'll be a nippy, keen Lewis Potter, but Jack Watman's done well to do with that one. Sean Raggett gives it away. Harvey White puts a foot in, and that'll be a foul for Hull City. That's
an example there where if that ball is played earlier, there's 5 Hull players out the game. If Raggett plays that ball earlier, because they had 5 players chasing it down. If he just dinked that ball into midfield, the amount of space must have been ridiculous. And
just a reminder to you both, and if anyone who might be watching has forgotten, Kenny Jackett still has the opportunity to make 3 further substitutions in this second half. It is 5 that League One teams are allowed, as there is a set piece to be delivered 10 yards in from the touchline inside the Pompey defensive territory. Andrew Curtis starting to get involved in this one a little bit more in the last couple of moments there, but it was a poor delivery. And here's Honeyman's ball now. It's the lovely delivery, and it's crept past everyone, and it's out for a goal kick.
That's missed 4 Hull players on its way through.
Any one of those 3, just touch it and it's in. Look, watch this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's incredible how Keane Lewis Potter, Alfie Jones.
Bloody hell.
That's incredible. And the last one, actually, that was Jacob Greaves, probably with the best chance there for Hull City to stab it into the bottom left-hand corner of Craig McGilvery's net.
They're dangerous from set pieces, but also they look a little bit like they're getting into the game a bit more passing from them. We seem to be ragged, don't we? We don't seem to be, not ragged.
A bit Sean and Ragged, aren't we?
Sean Ragged, yeah.
We can't get going by passing. We're not fluid.
No. Too many loose balls and not enough penetration, I don't think. Dan, what we need, Curtis at least is getting wide now, which is what we needed, I think.
Lee Brown puts the ball in.
This hopeful freaking ball into Marcus on his own up there. If you're going to play this game like this, you've got to put Harrison in.
Hold on a second. Here comes Keane Lewis Potter. It's drive Malik Wilkes. Oh, it's still Wilkes. Oh, that's a poor goal to concede.
Oh.
And it's George Honeyman, poacher on 6 yards, and 61 minutes. Hull City double their lead at Fratton Park, and that
you can't say it's deserved. It's deserved. They've been the better team in the second half. By far the better team. It irritates me because I actually don't think George Honeyman's a very good player. I didn't rate him at Sunderland at all, and he's just stuck in there and got the ball. It's such a poor goal to concede, but they've deserved it. You can't take it away from them. The second half, they've deserved it.
Because Raggett's got to get rid of
It's
that.
the clearance from Raggett on the line.
To get rid of that, man.
Look
at this. What I'm saying about this. Look, don't it bounce off your knees? Swing at it.
How's Honeyman just come in between Brown and Watmore though? Look,
He's just let him get his foot at it.
Honeyman just popped in there ahead of Brown. But I think this is what's frustrating is on the whole they haven't been one of the better teams we played. It's just a bit frustrating. We just haven't got going at all.
At all in this second half, I completely agree. Hopefully that's not game over for Pompey. Still half an hour to be played at Fratton Park. Ben Close on halfway finds the new man, Harvey White.
Nicely touched down
That's
there.
Worked well by Tom Naylor. Lee Brown with a ball into Harvey White, and it's poor touch, and it's easy for Hull to work back into possession, and they come over halfway now. And that is probably the most Pompey have conceded in a game for quite some time now, looking at this. And that's Richard Smallwood now for Hull City.
They just got control of it, haven't they? We just ain't at the races. No.
Listen, the defence has really been suspect today, which you just didn't expect at all.
Sam, does the phrase "a mountain to climb" spring to mind?
Not a shot on target for the game so far. We're at home, second or third in the league, whatever we are.
Listen, they're playing with a lot of confidence here. You can say I'm flicking the ball round.
I'm sure it's about to get worse as the ball goes in. Sean Raggett headers away. Well, you're going to find out in a second. Is Richard Smallwood. There's Honeyman again. Hull with a firm foothold. And
they're all over us.
They are all over us. It gets even worse. And that's another own goal by Jack Watmore. It's a second. What an absolute nightmare. That's a second for Jack Watmore of the afternoon, both in the wrong net, and he looks absolutely gutted. Sam.
This is a bit of a reality check for not for our promotion hopes in the sense, but just the way we're playing. I just think it's a little bit of a reality check. They've been the better team this second half, and those subs at half time just haven't worked at all.
Jack Watmore's got to go for this, because if he doesn't, they're going to score anyway.
Yeah, he can't just stand there and watch, can he? Oh, what a nightmare. Well, we weren't expecting that, were we? Rowan Curtis has been taken off for Ellis Harrison. I'm not quite sure what a lot of difference that's going to make.
In hindsight, obviously, it's a wonderful thing, but why has Jacket taken off Ryan Williams when he's been one of our most influential players, and along with Andy Cannon as well? Well, why is he taking them both off? He just completely changed it. And if anything, it's made it more congested in the midfield, and there's no space.
I am baffled by that, actually. And you weren't happy with Cannon coming off at the time, and it hasn't.
It's too much strong play and too much playmaker for us.
And Marquis just looks like a frustrated striker now. He's conceded another free kick in Hull's box.
He's going to be frustrated because of the formation, mate. We said we can't play him on his own up front. We've been saying that for. Also, why has he changed the formation? Look at him. He's on his own with 4 freaking defenders. And the ball's being played to his head. It's hopeless, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. If you're just joining us, it is 3-0 to Hull City at Fratton Park, 65 minutes on the clock. 2 own goals for Jack Watmore. It's a fixture of own goals in League One this season, but nonetheless, probably now 3-0 down, and that does quash the goal difference quite substantially, which may be something to consider come the end of the season. Hull City still having a good go at it, but here are Pompey, Harvey White coming over halfway, opts to choose for Ben Close. Dead and buried, Sam, or you still see a little bit of light in this one?
Unless they get one in the next 2-3 minutes, probably dead and buried. But
look at it. Look at who's up there. 2 players on their own. Harris on his own. Good shot. Unlucky.
It's a good save, actually, from George Long. And it will be a Pompey corner.
I think what's the most frustrating thing here is that, you know, they haven't really done much unless they're 3-0 up. We've gifted him those 2. That second goal was just as shambolic as the first one. So just
get out of it.
Good corner in there.
Was that a penalty, Sam?
I have to watch a replay.
Not really, no.
You know, Wilkes isn't nowhere near the ball, and he's put his hands in his back, but it's got to take a brave ref to give that.
Unfortunately, doesn't look like he was going to. Rochdale have equalised against Gillingham, and as we said just then, it was almost an instant impact from Ellis Harrison. It wasn't to be, and Pompey still remain 3 goals down.
I will say one thing is that, you know, we've been in a very good run, and you shouldn't, like, this is kind of copying Paul Cook a little bit when he always said it, but you shouldn't get too ahead of yourselves, but you also don't want to think it's all doom and gloom once you lose one game after not conceding a goal for however long.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a yellow card, though. He should give us a yellow card.
It's for Keane Lewis Potter, actually. He's confused as to why it's him, but it is definitely him. And yeah, I agree, Sam. I think it's important to not be too high, and all good things come to an end, don't they? Is probably something to add. But
I would say as well, but I wouldn't like to be Lincoln City at the moment, because Pompey have never lost 2 games in a row under Kenny Jackett. Little stat for you. So league games in a row, sorry. So I can see a reaction on Tuesday night.
Peterborough United have taken the lead at Portman Road. It is Ipswich Town 0, Peterborough 1. The posh, right up them. Harvey White is taking this corner. It's a good ball in, and again, George Long is there to palm one away. And it's another corner kick on the other side this time, and that was a lovely ball in from Harvey White.
Nice
Sean
delivery,
can see why they got relegated. They are a poor team, and that's what both of you've been saying all afternoon, is that Hull City are nothing special, and it's 3 poor goals to concede, isn't it? But they're conceded. Sorry, Sam, you're going to say something there?
No, mate. I was just saying it was a nice delivery in from Harvey White.
Again, that's a poor one though on that side. I think that was Ben Close, actually. I know Sam made it very clear, and we completely concur with him, that blaming a ref is a bit of a bless you cop out, but he has been poor. There's nothing to, detract from the score line, but you'd wonder if the game had been played slightly different. I know none of the referees' decisions have directly influenced any of the goals, and it's the blame lies at Pompey's defence, doesn't it, Andrew? I think.
Yeah, I think so, Tom. I think the blame lies on the bench, on Kenny Jackett's door, mate. Not being tactically, we've said it a lot of times. I'm not giving Kenny Jackett a kicking because we're doing all right, aren't we? We've done all right this season, but this is what I'm saying about being the finished article. They've come here for a point, as Adam said at half time. Got lucky with a couple of goals. You've got to argue that, but we have been absolutely piss poor all afternoon, everywhere. Everyone. And I think Cannon off at half time destroyed me. I thought, oh my God, here we go. This is going to be a rout if we're not careful. We need strong.
I'd love to know the reason why he did that. And if it's tactical, then that's farcical.
It's farcical, isn't it? That's the point of it. He's not injured. He's playing probably the best player on the pitch at the time. It's frustrating. Well, we still get frustrated and start blaming people, but it's freaking 3-0 at home to Hull. Who the hell are Hull?
Right. This is not great, is it?
No. Look at the formation. Look at what's Harrison doing with that? Who's wide? Curtis is off now, isn't
he? Curtis on the pitch, Sam?
No, I think did he get taken off for Harrison?
Yeah, that's right. It's a Hull City substitution.
It's been on for 10 minutes. We didn't know he's gone missing.
Gavin White coming off. Oxford United double their lead against Bristol Rovers. It's now 2-0 to the O's. And you are not happy, I can tell, behind me.
No.
You look seething. Sam?
This allows space for my man to come good.
I think I'm a similar space to Andrew in the sense that I think I'm a bit frustrated as to why he changed it. It's hindsight and it's great. And at half time I said they were matching them up formations, but why he didn't give it, 15 minutes with Williams and Cannon on the pitch, who have been our best two players in our recent run. I can't really explain that one. To be honest,
I don't get it when people say, no, Adam said at half time, not being controversial to what Adam said, but I don't think these teams, when it says this need a rest, they're tired. I get that with professional footballers. I'm my age and I can run 8K a day, which I do. It doesn't make me tired. I can still run I'm going to do 8K in a minute when I'm finished watching this. And they've got to play football twice a week, and for 90 minutes they've got to run around, jog around for half a morning on a Tuesday. They've got nothing else to do. I'm not being funny, but everyone else is resting like they are, so they're not tired. There's not too many games they're playing. That's garbage. I know playing football for 90 minutes is different than running 8K, but I'm not 23 years old, and I'm saying that this team, these players have got to be at the races, and they've got to be quicker at it. But again, is it the formation? You ask yourself the question. Is it? Look at it. We're just being cancelled out in every department. Hull have done a good job on us, to be fair. They're a really good job on us. And they look like a much better team than we are, frankly, I think, at this present time.
In this second half, yeah. I'm just frustrated because I thought the first half, I think it was an even game. And I don't necessarily think they didn't make the imprint that they've made in the second half. And it's probably because of the substitutions and the change in formation that's caused it.
Go on, mate.
It's almost like he's gone, let's match them up formation. But, this lot play 4-3-3 and they're one of the best sides in the league. So Jackets, they're thinking that we can match them with some subs, that we're suddenly going to be better than the best team in the league in this formation. I just don't think it's going to happen. I would have liked to have seen us do what we're good at in the recent games with Williams and who came off, Cannon coming off. I don't know why they came off.
Harvey White stood over this one. It's a free kick in a position of interest for Pompey. Oh, it's a shot, and I don't know how far away it was because it's difficult to judge from here, but words fail me, unfortunately.
Wasn't that far away, was it?
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. It's just in general. It's just not. I think Sean Ragg is about to go in the book here, but Lincoln City have scored against Northampton, meaning I believe that their stay at the top of the table will be extended, unless Northampton can pull something back. Also, just now, Jimmy Keohane has gone in head actually for Rochdale. They were a goal down to Gillingham, and they've managed to turn it around and make it 2-1 to the away side. Unfortunately, it's not something that I think we'll be able to enjoy here at Fratton Park this afternoon. I can't see a turnaround on the cards.
See a goal coming, Tom, can you?
I can't really see anything, to be honest. It looks something that's just going to peter out into the last 15 minutes plus added time. Ben Close doing his best to get a hand on the ball, but he can't, and Lee Brown will hurriedly go and pick up a ball from somewhere on the south stand touchline.
I will say one thing, Hull will think that this is the league for them, because they probably would have thought this would be their hardest game. So they think I wouldn't be surprised at the moment. They think they're probably home and dry with the with this result. So it must be noted that Ben Close is going through. Ooh. It must be noted that they've still got a lot of work to do. They lose one game and we win our game in hand. We're above them, so it's a long way to go.
As you said this afternoon, it's fine margins, isn't it, Sam? In everything.
Fine margins. That first goal. The first goal here today was crucial, and they managed to get it after not doing a lot. And the first goal was really to set the pace for the game. It was an own goal and from a set piece, which we've been so good at defending. It's just set the tone for the game. But then again, I'm sure I'm not a big fan of their manager. Actually, I don't really like him. I think he's a bit of an arrogant guy, and he hasn't really done much in his managerial career. But he's probably going to come out and say how good they were today, and hopefully they get ahead of themselves because they've got a long way to go. They've got a lot of. I think another thing to remember is we've played a lot of the teams the teams up the top now. We've played a lot of them, and after next Saturday we would have played most of them home and away. So that these teams have still got to go and play each other, and there will be games, they will lose games, etc. So long way to go. We've done well against most of them. If you told me we get 6 wins against teams in and amongst us and beat Sunderland away, it's just an off day.
Well, it was Sunderland away. It was Lincoln away, wasn't it? We beat these guys away from home.
Peterborough at home, Ipswich away, Fleetwood away.
Not me thinking negatively, but also Lincoln might think they're going to get a backlash of what's happened today. But also they might think, well, actually, that team aren't indispensable and they are beatable. And they'll watch this game back because they will again and again and again.
Any team's beatable.
I know that, but I'm saying Lincoln would come here, I think, with a bit more confidence they would have done. If we'd beaten Hull, or at least drawn with Hull, then I think Lincoln would come here very on the back foot. But the fact they've seen us lose 3-0 at home to Hull, that would give them some confidence, especially they're top of the league and just won again. But they aren't very good, as we said earlier. But we don't look very good today, do we? We thought we were a lot better than we have been. And maybe that's credit to Hull for not letting us play. I don't know. Or is it the formation again? Look at this.
So cheap corner for Hull City to concede there, actually. And it will be, I don't think the defender actually knew who was behind him. Sorry, Sam, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, are Lincoln in front at the moment? Or
Yeah, 1-0. The other thing about Lincoln and Charlton, we did say these 3 games defined our season, and they will. If we don't win the next 2, it's going to make it very difficult for us, isn't it?
Oh, it's a corner towards the 6-yard box. It's dangerous. It's cleared away, and Ben Close stops it on
the next 2 games. Really crucial now, aren't they? The Hull game. Sorry, after this Hull game, Lincoln and Charlton. If we go to Charlton and lose, say for argument's sake, or we lose to draw at home to Lincoln, or lose at home to Lincoln, then all of a sudden we're looking at a different story, aren't we? And we'll all be a bit depressed. I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic. If we play like this against Lincoln, we'll lose that as well. That's what I'm saying, and Charlton, because this is shocking.
I think the big impact for Hull has been the impact of that Lewis Potter, though. He wasn't playing last season. They seemed like the last time he played them seems like a completely new team with him. But again, I don't. It's amazing because if Hull drop points, they've still got. We can go above them if we win our game in hand. So it is.
I'm not. I agree with you, Sam, but that doesn't excuse this style of football, and it doesn't excuse Cannon not being there, the playmaker in midfield.
No.
That's what I'm saying to you. Look, Harrison's just a journeyman. Look, he's not getting involved at all. He's just walking about. Look at him.
What do you make of Harrison, Sam? Because every time we've watched him play recently, he just looks like he's not really interested. Have you got a particular opinion on him?
I feel like with Harrison is that he had a really good spell part of last season. He's really struggled to get kind of consistent run of games. With obviously Marquis being in good form this season as well. It just hasn't quite clicked for him. I think he's a good option to come off the bench every now and then if you need a goal. But yeah, it just hasn't quite clicked for him this season. But that again, we've had Marquis who's been in good form.
This is better from Poppy. Better control, better football, playing it on the ground.
We actually are starting to play a little bit now, but I think it's way too late.
Good ball.
Nice run.
John Marquis in the penalty area, and that one's going to be a goal kick, says the referee. Lovely. So you said earlier on, Sam, that it's just a blip and it's a bad day at the office. But how difficult is it to take that forward, especially as Andrew's just mentioned, into the 2 games that are really crucial for us in the next 7 days or so?
Yeah, as a fan, I'm gutted, obviously, and I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed because I don't think they're very good, and I'm going to be sick of going on Twitter tonight and seeing all the Hull fans piping up. But I don't necessarily think it should be taken in the sense of, this is it, because I would have taken before these games, I would have taken 5 points, 1 win and 2 draws in these 3 games, and we can still get 6 points from these games. So it's not it's not the be all end all. Obviously there needs to be a change in performance because, I'll just shut up because we're going forward.
It's Harvey White and Ben Close goes for spectacular. He's clattered in the process, and that will be a corner ball for Pompey.
How is he not going to book? Has he got to book him for that? Smallwood's had so many fouls today.
He's waiting for him to get up and he's going to slap a guard on him.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, he's got his book out, look.
Yeah, I was going to say that's come about 25 minutes too late. He's been doing it all day. They've done a job on us.
It's almost like we're playing against Hull Kingston Rovers. The rugby squad.
Yellow card shown there, Sam. So you're quite right in saying that. Ladies and gents, there's still 150 of you who join us across YouTube and Facebook. It's lovely to have you with us. Unfortunately, we're not bringing you fantastic football, which we have been doing for the last couple of weeks. But as we mentioned, this is a blip. Stick with us. Subscribe if you're brand new to this sort of thing. You've never seen us before. That'd be much appreciated.
We'll be a little bit happier next week.
Yeah, well, we're trying to be happy now, aren't we? But it's just
our team, innit? It gets you in the heart.
It's raw emotion that you're seeing, and it's our immediate reaction. Normally, when we're doing the videos, we manage to compose ourselves, but that's one of the.
Say a couple of funny things. Don't
well, sometimes you say something that's remotely funny, but that's very few and far between, isn't it? So.
Some of them are completely funny, and some aren't.
Yeah.
Do we score here, Tom, or not?
No, we don't. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry to say that.
Can you tell me this when we're at Fratton Park next time from the seats?
I can't, unfortunately, because that is actually live and no one can predict. The only reason why I can tell you whether we score or not is because of a bit of delay. But that was another good effort from.
Far away, to be fair, to that Hardy White.
Got a good set piece on him.
Yeah, your comment earlier is correct, Sam. That's not far away at all.
Far away, both of them are not far away. He's obviously done a bit of this in training to show.
Apparently he's got one of the best set pieces at the whole football club at Tottenham. So
lucky to have that at Fratton Park. Sorry to say, Pompey fans, Lincoln have doubled their lead against Northampton Town. That one's looking pretty conclusive for them at the, I don't know what it's called now, probably the LNER Stadium, isn't it, Lincoln? Was it something else?
I think it's crucial that we actually have to go and get a win on Tuesday now, just because we've played the same amount of games as Lincoln. We're 4 points behind them, so we need to go there and get a win. Obviously, we've got game in hand on Hull, and we're 4 points behind them. So
is that our place, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
at home, and then going to Charlton. So yeah, it just feels as if it's that kind of those games. And this is giving me like vibes of Luton away a few seasons ago, where we went there, we were in a good position, and we could have really got something from the game, and we didn't, and it was a crucial point in the season. So we need these are games where you really need to. They're just crucial moments in the season. But saying this, you never know. Hull could go and lose the next game, and could all be rosy again.
Greg Doherty and Keane Lewis Potter have come off, and it's Slater and Chadwick who make their way onto the pitch for the final 5 minutes. Pompey Paul says he is done. He'd rather do his online shop than see this fizzle out. Cheers, lads. # we go again.
I think I'm done too. But one thing I would say, would you have said for 45 minutes of this game you wouldn't have Curtis, Williams, and Cannon on the pitch? Would you have done that as a manager? No. You'd have given him the 90 minutes for sure. That's my point.
Still was very surprised at the changes today.
It was.
I think he's got them completely wrong.
Yeah, shocking tactics. I agree with Curtis, but the other two, I can't cope with it. I find that amazing. And I'm pretty sure they're probably sitting on the bench thinking the same. Saying that, does that wake him up for the next game? So
Close edge of the area to Marquis. Harvey White has got Lee Brown on the overlap. He chooses him to. It's a terrible ball.
Oh, that's a foul.
And that is a foul. And I think
I'm
that'll be a low card.
I'm glad he gave him one. I don't like Honeyman. He really annoys me. It just really annoys me. He's a footballer that really annoys me.
He looks like Cannon and Ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. Just something about him. I just think he's. I didn't like him when he was at Sunderland. I just thought he wasn't.
Your dad will know that. Ask your dad if he thinks he looks like Mark Bolan.
Do you think he looks like Mark Bolan? He said, yeah.
There you go.
Medigaroo, is it you? Yeah.
We've had a couple of comments, Sam, this afternoon saying how much you speak like Frank Lampard. So I'm not sure if you're going to take that as a compliment or not, but it does sound a little bit like old Frank, doesn't he? Super Frank.
Super Frank.
Frankie Lampard.
Here's Harvey White putting some pressure on Louis Coyle.
You know why he speaks like Frankie Lampard, don't you? Because Frankie Lampard is his dad.
Yeah.
That's why.
Ellis Harrison now.
Oh, he's done well, Harrison. He's just in his own half.
He's actually done something.
Where's he going with that?
Harrison down the right-hand side. There's John Marquis.
And he's got very few options.
He has got Marcus Harness, though. He's done well to break through that line of Hull City defence. The ball goes in, unfortunately. It's a brilliant ball. He's done really well there, Harness. Dig that one out.
He has done well.
Sam, I was hoping that we'd be under better circumstances when I asked you this question, but who is your Pompey man of the match this afternoon, mate?
Oh, how's no one got to the end of that? God. Don't know where to start with that, Tom.
Jack Watmore?
Oh, for scoring 2 for Hull?
No.
What I'd say about Jack Watmore, even though he scored the 2 own goals, he's still full of confidence. He's not panicked a bit at the back there. He's still made some great interceptions and good, solid brain, well thought out playing.
Oh gosh. I can't really. It's a really hard one, Tom, because I can't really think of anyone who stood out.
I think you've got to get Jack Watmore to cheer him up, mate.
I mean, Callum Johnson has probably been the
probably
first half bunch. Maybe he's best of a bad bunch because he just hasn't been that bad. Raggett's had one of his worst games in a long time. Watmore's obviously got himself some dodgy positions. None of the subs have really come on and taken the game by the scruff of the neck. Curtis was very, very poor. Yeah, so I'll probably have to go for Callum Johnson just because he hasn't been that bad.
Charlton Athletic have turned it around completely now. They are now on level terms with Swindon Town. It is 2-2 at the Valley in the last couple of moments there. So an exciting game in the capital. We will make the trip to the Valley this time next week to play Charlton. Right, just a minute left in this one now.
He's saying 100% Watmore. Joe's saying 100% Watmore.
I don't know how you can give it to Watmore. He's scored 2 goals in the wrong net.
That's the only mistakes he's made, though, mate. And
they're big ones, aren't they?
But the first one wasn't bounced off his knee. The second one,
definitely you can't do anything about.
Otherwise, they're going to score anyway. And he just couldn't get enough on it, sliding backwards towards his own goal to clear it, could he? He just didn't. Maybe the mistake he made was not knocking it out for a corner to the other side, the other corner. But you can't. That's all he's done wrong, isn't it? And they haven't really done it wrong.
I've got a bit of bad news.
They scored again, have they?
They have.
4-0.
It's not good news.
Embarrassing.
Hull on the ball. Here's Crowley. Reverse pass to Honeyman up to the edge of the D. It's a shot, and there it is. The first proper goal from open play of the afternoon. And
Pompey, answer the question, Jacket, and tell us why you made those changes.
All I'm saying is this lot will think they've won the league right now, because this is a big result for them.
Not just that, it's 4-0, Sam. It's 4-0. Not 1-0 and sneak nicked it. They've embarrassed us. We've been shocking.
That's a great finish, though.
Yeah, he's a big lad as well, isn't he? He's a giant, and he's freaking hit that. Where's the defending, though? Someone's got to step on him, haven't they?
1-0 at half time. Looked like we were in it. The subs have really not worked. The change formations really not worked.
I don't like to say that you saw this coming, but you did say if we do not get one back before half time, it could be embarrassing.
I think this is a mixture of.
Look at this. What's Harrison on his own with 5 players around him? They just take him and say, "Come on, then, dickhead."
This is a mixture of Jacket and the players just not being at it. This is what you get when you're playing top of the league.
Well, we were in that position at one point, Sam.
Maybe this is a smell of coffee day.
Can I just bring us all back down to earth? Because I know it's a complete clattering. I try and provide a little bit of positivity for you all. It's a single game that's gone against us, and it's the first one we've lost since we played Blackpool back at the start of the previous month.
And we played just as bad against them as we have done against Hull.
Yes, okay. Well, you could argue that Hull City are a much more clinical side.
I'd say Blackpool are probably a more clinical side than this lot.
I'd go with that. I think Blackpool were one of the best sides we played, and I think what's annoying is we've almost self-imploded today.
Yeah,
we've done really nothing to deserve anything from the game, and they've just turned up, and they've managed to they've been clinical in certain areas, but it's the first goal and the change at half time just made no sense. Obviously, you got hindsight now, so I'm looking back on it. If we'd gone and won the game 3-1 from half time, I would have completely. We've been saying Jacket's the best.
We weren't going to. We said that at half time. We weren't going to. With those changes he made, I was surprised at all of them. Curtis, not so much, because I don't think he was in the game enough. But that's maybe because Hull didn't let him play. Maybe Kenny and Joe said, "Look, we need to shake this up a bit because they know where our threats are coming from. So let's surprise them." He did surprise them 4-0. We scored time or not?
Nope, unfortunately not. No, I'm
This is 4-0 written all over it. This says.
No, I'm just about to say it is all
4-0
over
again on Tuesday, on Saturday. I didn't mean for Hull to beat us 4-0. People out there listening to this.
Yeah. Oh, you did. We're going to 3-4-0 in the next couple of weeks, so maybe that's what you're alluding to. Sam, it's just about there you go. Referee's blowing it now. It is the full-time whistle. It's 4-0 at Fratton Park. Summarise that in as best way you possibly can, mate, to everyone watching.
Well, yeah. So I don't think it's a game where we should get too down. It is obviously I'm gutted. You're gutted. Andrew's gutted. Everyone's gutted about the result. It's embarrassing getting turned over by a promotion rival at home. But ultimately, the game was tight up until half time, and it was a game that was going to be defined by fine margins until the changes were made. And you're taking your 2 best players off. You can't really expect to go and beat a team that's top of the league and playing well. Lewis Potter, good player, was probably the difference in that first half to get them the lead, where we had to kind of come out and be a bit more expansive. So yeah, it's just a real. Maybe a little bit of a reality check, but I'm sure the players will bounce back. They team to always bounce back. A massive game against Lincoln on Tuesday now, which we have to go and win. So it is a little bit of a reality check, but again, I don't think we should get too down. You know, Hull will be in a position now where they think that the league is theirs, which may be a good thing for us because they may get ahead of themselves. Because we've had that before when we've been top of the league and we've definitely got ahead of ourselves. And you know, they've still got a lot of tough games to play. So I'm sure we'll be back on Tuesday. I'm confident we'll get return with a win on Tuesday. But yeah, we've been taught a bit of a lesson today by a team that were better than us in pretty much every aspect.
Chris has said, good job, guys. Chins up. We'll recover from this. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Joe's off as well. Thank you for joining us too. Sam, just as you started talking there, I just flashed up the table on there for you. It's the updated as of now. That's the difference that game makes. Pompey drop a position. Obviously, Peterborough picking up a result against Ipswich. You can't actually see there, but they sit in 9th place. There you go. Andrew, your thoughts on that at the minute? And Pompey are by no means down and out of it, are they?
No, but Tom, I think tactical changes went wrong for us. Completely wrong decisions. We said that at the time, and I'm going to repeat myself, Tom. Cannon has got to stay on the pitch for 90 minutes. Ronan Curtis maybe not, but Cannon and Williams and Harness got to be playing. That's it. Bottom line. That's what I'm saying. Is midfield, completely midfield. They outplayed us and looked much better than us, didn't they? Let's face it, all the way through the second half, especially. Embarrassing, Tom. That's what I'm saying. Embarrassing. And Kenny Jackett needs to take himself into that changing room and slap himself.
Sam, how does the table look for you, mate, at the minute? Does that, I'd ask the same question to you, not down out of it by any stretch of the imagination?
No, but it's probably a fair position as to where we should be. Doncaster got a couple of games in hand on us. Charlton, we played, it is just a fair position at the moment after performing like that against a team that's near the top. We're going to be in amongst the playoffs at that rate. Again, it is just kind of the next couple of games, though, because obviously we go and beat Lincoln, brings us right back in amongst it. So yeah, it is frustrating, but I don't think we should necessarily get too down about it. It is hard, but yeah, the defensive record was good, but you can't make mistakes and give soft goals like that. And I just think maybe they didn't expect to, and that's what happened. They came into the game complacent, thinking that they were just going to keep that clean sheet and maybe nick something, and didn't happen. The rest of the league's definitely going to look at that and be like, "Wow, look at that result." But yeah, it's definitely a chance for us to bounce back. Again, Hull were better than us in every single aspect, but they didn't have to be that good to do that. We were just very, very poor on the day.
Andrew, I'll flash these up, a bit of full-time stats for you. Pretty much, I mean,
one shot on target, Tom.
Well, 11 shots and one of them on target. Hull with 9, and they got 5 on target. Pretty even on corners, and there's a couple of yellow cards for either side. Possession pretty much match each other. Was it just that quality in front of goal that Hull had this afternoon?
It's just the two good mistakes we made to change the game, didn't it? And then the changes, tactical nonsense at the half time. That's the changes. That's it. That's the thing. Like, finish with Tom. Game finished.
Okay, well, game's finished. We are finished too. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, ladies and gents, this afternoon. It's been a pleasure to have your company. It's been a pleasure to have Sam alongside us, mate. We're more than happy to do it all over again with you if you want to in the future. I know it's a bad one to start with, but it's been great to have you, and your input's been invaluable, mate. So thanks very much indeed for that. Just a couple more comments to go through before we do finish. Tom has quite rightly agree with you, saying that was a bit of a reality check. Half-time subs baffled me today. It did seem like a game that fans would have an influence. Just quickly, Andrew, do you think if we'd been there, it would have been a different result?
No.
Sam?
Sorry, Tom. Repeat the question, mate.
if we'd been there, would it have been a different result?
Well, if the fans had been there today, I could have seen a different result. Yeah, I could have seen us hanging in there a little bit. I don't think Jackett would have made those subs at half time if the fans had been there. I think he would have stuck with what he'd known and what was going well. And I think it would have made a big difference, especially in the start of the game. We may have gone for it a bit more.
Excellent. Any final words, Sam, to the people of Fournilwrittenalloverit who might be watching this right now? Need a bit of positivity?
No, just keep. I don't think we should get too low. See where we are in 2 weeks after some big games. See where the league table is now in a couple of weeks. It's not about where you are in January. It's about where you are in at the end of May or whenever the season finishes. So hopefully we can pick up a good couple of wins in the next 2 games, put us right back in amongst it, and all the other teams around us have to keep winning. So we'll wait and see. Don't get too low. We shouldn't get too. I think it's a little bit of a reality check not to get too high up.
Perfect. Sam, just stay there for the moment, mate, and we'll come back and just wrap up once we've finished the live. But Andrew, your closing thoughts on what you've seen today.
I get too emotional about it, Tom, because I do, and so therefore it's pretty best I don't say what I want to say. Just very disappointing Saturday, isn't it? I could have taken 2-0 and we scored 2 own goals. I can't take 4-0 and playing the way we played. That's what I can't cope with. And the changes that we made, shocking decisions, shocking decisions, and that's what's cost us the game. Sam's quite right. We shouldn't get too low about it. What worries me is Lincoln are going to come with a little bit more about them. I think they're going to probably think they can come and win the game now. And away at Charlton next week, Charlton got back into their game, didn't they? Having been 2-0 down. So I think the 2 very difficult games, we've got to win both of them, I think, Sam, to give us any chance of being in that. If we lose the next 2, we'd be down to 7th or 8th, wouldn't we? Maybe 9th, and therefore we can't afford to lose the next 2 games. We've got to go out there and beat those 2 teams. And Jackett's got to get the formation right, and he's got to play those players we talked about.
Great. Okay, well, that's where we'll leave it for now. Pompey previously flying high. Perhaps we're right back down to earth with that result. It's been a pleasure, as I say, to have you all with us. We'll do it all again on Tuesday night. Keep the faith. Look after yourselves.
Good to see you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam, as well, for joining us. It's been great, mate. And we will see you on Tuesday night. Play at Pompey.